All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is a special this time. Apologize for no show Sunday, but we had to go work, and we have to work again this Sunday. So, figured we would do a special and jump in midweek here right before Christmas. With that being said, Garage Guy, would you please do the honor and get us started off right, sir?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent, sir. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. I got quite a few things done. I'm finished with the Christmas stuff. So tomorrow, go have dinner, spend time with my granddaughter, and then just kick back and take it easy.
Good deal, man. Good deal. We got Hisei out there. We got Kyle out there. Good to see you guys. Going on. Jamie, what's happening, brother?
It's Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you get what you want, what you ask for. Remember what the reason for the season really is. It's a birthday. And there's a reason it's a birthday. It's because we needed that birthday. So, yeah, man, thanks for having me. And like my buddy Mark Garage Guy says, we'll have some fun, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Bama, what's going on, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. Everybody, Jamie said, hope everybody gets what they were looking for. I pretty much make sure of that myself. So I got everything I wanted. I've had it for a while. In fact, I got the last of it in yesterday. So I got a new setup, to add to my quick change mount from Inline Fabrication, so I can mount my primer on my AccuPrime onto it. So I'm happy right now. I'm happy.
Awesome, man. Good deal. Good deal. Rob, what's happening, man? I can see that you've been drinking and being merry for quite a while. What's going on, dude?
Not much. Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah, lady's been feeding me drinks today, so it's been a long day already.
The lady's been feeding you drink. That's an excuse right there.
I don't even know what they are. So mixed something. It kind of looks like chocolate milk, but they're pretty damn strong. So anyway, thanks for joining us again. Merry Christmas, everybody, and let's see where the show brings us.
Maybe she'll take advantage of you later, Rob.
That might be the plan. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Those mudslides always made me sick at my stomach. Is it made with Kahlua?
I think I heard something Brandy Alexander or something. I might be thinking something wrong because I don't know. It's a different language to me, but I don't know. I can go find out what's in it. So
yeah, go
I know
find out.
I'm
curious now because you said it kind of looks like milk chocolate, but it's high in alcohol. So I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I think there's two schools of thought there. Maybe she'll get you tipsy and take advantage of you, or she may be doing the Bama Dad thing and getting you so sick you pass out and leave her alone, man.
I was going to say, it's probably number two, getting to pass up.
I think it depends on how long you've been married, too.
Or she may be doing that number three thing. Do like Willie Nelson's old lady did him. Sew him up with sheets and beat him with a baseball bat when he passes out.
I hope not. All right. What is it? Cream de cocoa Hershey's, Simples, and Christian Brothers.
Good
So-
Lord.
I think it's the Brandy Alexander is what she's calling it.
Yeah, that sounds sweet enough. It'd make me sick.
I've never heard of it, but yeah, I'm already sick just thinking about it.
It is sweet. It is, but after like most things, after the first one, it's like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Famous last words of a redneck.
It left a warm feeling in my stomach
My
and
gut.
a light head. So pass it around. Yeah. Of course, it wouldn't take but one of them to knock me off my feet right now, so it doesn't matter.
Jamie, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this, but you know what Hillbilly likes to drink. And you know as well as I do, one of those is plenty.
Hard
You know
shell.
what he likes to drink and what he says he likes to drink are two totally different things. I hope you sent him a link.
He should have one, but he never shows up, man.
I like that stuff. It comes in
He
a
never
mason
shows
jar.
up. I haven't heard from him in a long time, and I've never gotten a link from him in God knows how long.
See, that's the thing. Bama Dad, that's what he says that he likes to drink is what
He-
comes out of Mason.
He loves his hard seltzer, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
He
why
likes,
would you have so many of them around that you could shoot them at your range?
Yeah,
Exactly.
he
you
likes to get out there and say they're for target practice, but we all know it's nothing to do with target practice. That's just convenience that he has so many sitting around.
Oh, he's probably still got lead poisoning getting what's left in the can after he shoots it.
He probably does.
Golly, I hope not. Man, I can feel the Christmas love in here tonight, baby.
It is. Hey, this is the way guys show love for each other. We rag each other.
Brother, if we ain't picking on you, we kind of can't stand you.
Just remember, fellas, it isn't Christmas until what?
Midnight.
Die hard.
Oh, nope, you failed.
Irish coffee.
You failed. Come on, Jamie. You know.
I said it's not Christmas till you watch Die Hard, but you said I failed. So
Oh, I thought someone said something different. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Oh, exactly. That's right. It's not Christmas so that you watch Die Hard and Hans Gruber is falling off Nakatomi Plaza. Okay. What
Well,
the heck is Zima? I
There's
don't know.
there's some good news. Looks like Ilhan Omar is headed out of the country for good.
I don't know who that is.
That's that Somali woman, ain't it? She's
Yeah, Somali senator or Somali congressman woman from
Minnesota.
The one that married her brother
Yeah.
to become a citizen.
Tampon Timmy State.
All right, man. Y'all got me confused with somebody that actually likes the news.
I don't like the news. There's just certain things I don't mind actually paying attention to, and one of them is some bitch that came here illegally getting kicked out.
Yeehaw! No, man.
Somebody posted on Facebook breaking news: shots fired at Nakatomi Plaza. Somehow, I don't believe that.
Bama Dad, you're missing the whole point of Christmas, brother.
No, Does Santa have to deal with like customs and immigration and stuff, or is he able to just bypass that?
He's
It was
got a
grandfather,
pass
man.
on that, man.
Yeah, he was grandfathered in.
Cool. I was wondering how that worked. It obviously, it's not an issue because it's reindeer not from certain areas or whatever. You're not worried about bugs or anything like, in your camp wood or anything,
I think it's because he flies at such a high level, he doesn't have to worry about anything.
Jim Gabriel's out there. He said, "What is Zima like?" Isn't Zima? Wasn't it the pre-runner of all of those
Yes.
crazy things?
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad, despite what people say.
Oh, I got one.
If you don't like beer, Zima was all right. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, if you're the dude that showed up with Zimas and a bag of Skittles, you had the ladies were all over it. You were covered. Okay, that was the girl drink back in the day.
You were the guy that showed up with.
They dropped Skittles in the thing to mark their bottles. Honestly, Zima wasn't bad. I'm kind of pissed it went away. I'm ashamed to say I got busted one time with a coat full of Zima, illegally crossing railroad tracks, and the cop laughed at me and just told me to keep walking once he seen what I had.
That's hilarious.
He's like, "Oh, it's a coat full of Zima." Oh, Jesus. All right, go ahead, man.
I can't quit laughing.
I think Zima was one of them drinks you held your pinky out when you turned the bottle up.
No, Zima one in you drink before you get somebody to buy for you before your nuts fall.
Well, dang it, man.
Only someone in New York could get arrested for walking around with something like Zima and Skittles.
Yeah, I never heard of that. I took Zima and that was enough. I didn't like it.
You're not supposed to cross the tracks in certain areas because it's private property, blah blah blah, all that shit. But every town or area's got their local shortcuts, and you might hit the lotto, and it'll be the one time a year you go through there, and a cop will be sitting there to give you some shit or tell you not to come by. Then you're good till next year.
Yeah, that's
My man was Zima and Skittles. Pimping ain't easy, is it, Rob?
No, man. Shit was work.
Oh, Lord.
you got to get up early.
I reckon. Or stay
Gotta
up
do the
late.
grind.
That's some of that New York pimping. I don't know. That's the real pimping.
Hunting Creek Road. Hey, did y'all remember wine coolers? Yeah, garage guy's older now.
Yeah. That was like the mom drink in my generation. That's what moms drank and shit.
Boone's Farm.
My mom. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh my God, pickle pink.
Was that one, Rob?
Boone? No, that's one we got as kids when we weren't supposed to, because it was like $3 a bottle or something, or like Mad Dog 2020 or Mr. Boston's, yeah, all that type of shit. St. Oz Special Brews. I don't know if anybody remembers those. Whew, man, let me tell you, there's been some stories with that stuff.
All right, so
Billy Beer.
yeah, that's what I was getting to.
I had a case of that, and I think I sold it off can by can for like $100 a can.
Oh my word! Here's the thing, man. Christmas is a time that we reminisce. Oh, Bartles and James, good one, him, Gabriel. He said the same thing. Here's the thing, man. Christmas time is a time that we reminisce and think about stuff like that. I've never heard of Little Kings, Bo. Here's the thing, though. What is the worst beer you've ever had?
Oh,
Guinness.
God.
Schlitz.
Falstaff, maybe.
Falstaff wasn't bad.
I
Country.
don't even know if I can answer that question. I've had so many.
Carlin, Black Label, Vanessa Kitty. Billy Beer was pretty crappy. I'm telling you guys.
Yeah, or what Billy Beer was a mix of two different beers. What was it? I can't remember.
Let's find out. Google knows everything, right?
I think it was Pabst and something else.
Country Club 900. That was a malt liquor back in the day.
Thunderbird.
No.
Thunderbird.
Old English 800 is how I remember.
Oh, we. Dang, I didn't know you was hanging in the hood, Jamie.
He's a player, dude. Look at that beard. You know he's a
Oh,
player.
we, Big Bear. Yeah, Jamie knows what's up. To me, I'd say like Guinness is one of the worst I've ever tried. And then people are like, "Oh, you got to drink it warm." Like, dude, I think I would throw up. Like, I'm not a beer fan.
All right, I'm gonna throw you all for a loop here. So when I went home, me and my brother tried. So they make different Guinnesses, which is news to me and my brother. But they make different Guinnesses, and my brother tried this one a couple of years ago. So when I went home, yeah, he's like, "Hey, you got to try this." I'm not gonna lie, I was really fucking surprised. But you know who makes Guinness better than the Irish? Fucking Nigeria makes their own Guinness, and it's fucking good.
You drink that shit?
Nigeria, dude, they make the best freaking
No, dude, you're supposed to put that in the gas tank. It's just labeled like that. Don't. That's not. You're not supposed to drink that.
Oh, it's good, man. That stuff's good. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Holy shit! Wow!" It's got a little bit of spice to it, which you'd expect. You know, being like Nigerian, you'd expect a little bit of spice, but it's damn good, man. And it's not like your typical stout. It's different, but it's really freaking good.
Now, does it come in a used plastic bottle, liter?
No,
size?
no, it's all glass bottle, man. Glass bottle, and it's I was surprised how good it was, dude. I burned through quite a few of those. Not gonna lie.
I think he's lying. I think some Chinese company slapped some Nigerian label on some shit and sent it over there or something.
You can't get it over here. At least I've not seen it anywhere over here. But yeah, back home, that's a huge seller back home.
There's a whole lot of stuff that's made here that they only sell over there. I know when I was on the east coast of Africa, all they drank was a beer called Tuskers. And it was nasty. They had Buffalo Rock shipped over there. It was the only Pepsi product they really sold when I was over there. And it was, instead of calling it Buffalo Rock, they called it Stony Tankawisi. So it's different when you're over there.
Vanessa's saying that the foreign extra stout's better. You can get that around. It just depends where you're at. There's all kinds of places that sell the foreign extra. It's okay. It's not bad. But if you can find the Nigerian stuff, get the Nigerian stuff. Like, damn, it's they got some good shit.
All right. Billy Beer is a brand of beer first made in the United States in July 1977 by Falls City Brewing Company, based in Louisville, Kentucky. Company was operated until 1905 until 1978. After the company closed, the Falls City brand was purchased by differing groups of investors over the years. So in October 78, Falls City announced it was closing after less than a year of Carter's promotion. So Billy Beer ran them out of business. But it was produced by Cold Spring Brewing, West End Brewing, and Pearl Brewing Company. Y'all remember Pearl?
Yeah, that's been a long time.
Yeah.
Pearl, and at one time, Pearl, Olympia, and Coors were like primo beers.
Okay, Pearl Brewing Company was an American brewery established in 1883 in downtown San Antonio, Texas. In 1985, Pearl's parent company purchased the Pabst Brewing Company and assumed the Pabst name. So what used to be Pearl is now Pabst.
Do they still? Can you still buy Pabst?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they got PBR here in Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it every once in a while. I'm not looking for it, but
No one's ever looking for it.
right. Okay, on every can, this was written. Brewed especially for and with the personal approval of one of America's all-time great beer drinkers, Billy Carter.
He was the black sheep of the family.
Despite Carter's promotion of Billy Beer in private, he drank Pabst. Well, basically the same stuff. After Fall City Brewing Company went out of business, anyway.
All right. So what are you all wanting for Christmas?
Well, if I could have anything that I don't have that I wouldn't mind having, I would like to automate my XL 750. So I'd like one of those automation systems, but I'm not going to throw $1,500 at a $1,500 press. So
Now, let me ask you something. Why would you want to automate it and take out the entire purpose of what you do?
well, for something like if you're just running 9mm and you've got your load developed for your guns and you're happy with your load, you just turn it on, feed it, and fill the feeders and walk away.
You're taking the human element out of it and being able to check everything because you're not
Yeah,
now you're not being able to watch and make sure.
But I've got all my other stuff that I reload by hand on a single stage press. So
Right, but you're not able to watch it, so you don't know. You're not paying attention to every round that's coming off of that press. You're not watching what's going on with it. You don't know what's going to happen.
Hey man, why are you shitting on his wish? You know,
Hey, man.
I kind of back him up. It'd be nice to go out the door, go to work, come home, and have a pile of ammo sitting for you in a bucket. There's nothing wrong with that, bro.
Someone's got to be the Grinch around here. That's me, motherfucker.
Yo, ain't right.
I just think it'd be fun to, while I'm reloading the rifle, just be able to throw, while in the background I got 1,000 going on the XL 750 of 9mm.
I'm with you, man. I totally support that. That's the way I'd want to do it.
You've had enough to drink.
Not yet.
He's disqualifying you because he knows you've had some alcohol.
Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Doesn't mean you're right.
Well, considering it with his wish, damn it, stay out of
but
it.
I enjoy it. At least somebody's not giving me a hard time.
I'm gonna tell you what I wouldn't mind having for Christmas. Then we'll ask Garage Guy. when Bama, Ricky, and Kyle and myself went to the CMP over in Talladega, I noticed some 1903s and 1917s over there. I would kind of like to have one of those. But I ain't told nobody, so I know I won't get it for Christmas. But yeah, that's kind of what I wouldn't mind having. And you know, American surplus is like the most expensive.
It can definitely get up there. And surplus, just surplus in general. I have an old German pistol, and I came across it years ago. And when we bought it, we went out as a company and bought it in a big buy when we went to a pawn shop, and no one was exactly 100% sure what it was when we bought it, but we didn't pay a whole lot of money for it. And got it back to the shop, did a little bit more research on it. You know, it's a lot easier to research on the computer than it is on your phone.
Oh yeah.
And did a little more research, kind of got a little bit more information on it, and came up with a price, and I put it up there. And this customer comes in and is looking at it, and he's trying to barter with me right off the rip. And I'm like, nah, dude, I literally just bought this thing. Like, that's the price. I'm not changing the price. It's going to have to sit for, you know, a few months before I can do anything with the price on it. And he keeps coming back. You know, he's walking away and coming back. And he does this for like an hour. I'm like, okay, something's not right here. Like, he keeps coming back and forth. Something's not right. Like, okay, something's going on with this gun. So I pull out, I start going, and I do more research on it. And I come to find out it's super rare. I don't know exactly what it's worth, but the book that I need to buy in order to determine what it's worth costs the same as what I paid for the gun, which is a couple $100. So, yeah. But I know it's worth a good chunk. It's probably worth at least a couple grand.
Was it a Luger?
No, it wasn't a Luger. It's even older than that, and it's an old school design. I'll send you a picture of it, Jamie. I'll take a picture and send it to you at some point. But it's a super small. It's a 32 auto. And I mean, the thing works. I shot it. It's accurate.
Walther PPK.
I mean, for what has no sights on it, I mean, zero sights whatsoever. You got a tiny little post on it, you know. But yeah, it's accurate. But yeah, no, I know it's worth a good chunk. I just gotta figure it out. But yeah, I've got a book. I got a book saved in my cart and eBay that will be able to give me better research on it. But yeah, basically it's the same cost as what I paid for the gun for the book.
Well, hopefully there's other valuable information in there as well.
Oh yeah, it goes. So that book that I'm looking at goes through a bunch of different German pistols and stuff too. So it'll have. It's worth it. It's just, you know, I'm just making a joke about it, but it's worth it because it's got a lot more information in there. And you can never have too many books. You know, that's one thing that I've always said to people over the years when they ask, you know, how do you have this knowledge and do this and do that? Dude, you got to have a lot of books and you got to read, man. Got to read. Take your time and read.
That's a good question, M. Gabriel. Why, how come 1903 Springfield bayonets are half the price of the rifle?
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're worth it.
He said I can probably try and look and see if there's something like that, but I doubt it. This is a rare book too, so that's the other part to it. The book's just as rare as the frickin' gun. There's roll call out there. Roll call. Good to see you, brother.
Merry Christmas, brother.
It's Burnaby. What's happening, Burnaby?
Who else has Christmas wishes?
Garage guy, what do you got, man? Other than that your Taurus has come back working.
Oh boy, I'd like to have one of those Henry side gates, Chamberton 357 Magnum.
Nice. I like it.
I come here several times this past year, taking the plunge and getting one, but I figure, well, maybe I better hold off for a little bit and maybe catch one on sale or something.
I don't know, man. I think if I was, I don't know. I need to do a video on my Marlin 44. I think I'd go with a Marlin. It's hard for me to wrap my brain around the fact that it's not a Marlin anymore. It's a Ruger. But it's still that Marlin design. And, you know, Henry is very much, from what I've seen of them, they're very much the Marlin design as well. The one that I dug into. Why would you want a 357? Not that there's anything wrong with that, Mark, but garage guy. But why would you not want like a 3030 or 4570 or something like that?
Well, I don't hunt anymore, so those hunting calibers aren't that big a deal to me anymore. I got one I go hunting with, and it's Chamberton 7.62 by 39. Like I told you before, I ain't gonna shoot at nothing more than 100 yards away because that means I'll have to go up there 100 yards and then drag it back 100 yards. You know, so. And
that's if it don't run. If it runs and it goes more than 100 yards, you got a little bit of a walk.
no, you're gonna see me stand there and wave by at it, you know. But no, about the only thing I hunt anymore out here is groundhog pops its head up on the property. That sucker's gonna be history. And that it's a Ruger Ranch rifle there. It's really good. And that caliber, it's don't cost as much. But back to Jamie's question, it's ammo availability, really. I mean, I can find 357 and 38 special around here all day. I thought about 44 Magnum, but it's just a ammo cost type of thing, you know.
Absolutely, man. That's definitely a consideration if you're wanting to shoot it. And if I had one, I'd be shooting it a lot.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, man. For cowboy action shooting, most folks use what I call watered down 38s. They hand load them and they cast their own bullets, or they buy cast bullets. I mean, cast bullets are all you can use in cowboy action shooting. You can't use jacketed bullets because you're so close to the targets and you're shooting steel. So if you're shooting jacketed bullets, it's going to ricochet back and hurt somebody. You know what I mean? So a lot of them have those. I've got a Rossi, but most of the guys who are really fast have 1873 Winchesters are their clones, and they have
the Winchester. They got it slicked up with the short stroke.
short stroke kit in it, and there's nowhere to hold that finger. Every time they close it, it's shooting, and they're only moving it. I mean, you can do it like that. So it would be fun. I may be looking at getting something like that later on if I get more active in cowboy shooting. Actually want to go fast, but with those things, you can dang sure go fast.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a lot of people. You go watch some of Ricky's videos, and you'll see people just freaking going nuts like that, man. It's crazy.
I saw a short today. Now, of course, the guy was set up, right? And he was pretty much just dumping his rounds on one or two targets. And he only did 2 shots from his shotgun. But he shot 10 shots through his rifle, 5 shots each through his revolvers. So 20 shots. And then 2 shots with his shotgun in under 13 seconds.
Yep, pretty slick.
Now,
How many shots was that total?
22, 10 with his rifle, 5 each with 2 revolvers and 2 shotgun shots.
I don't know if I could dump that many out of my AR-15 that fast. But
I know I could definitely do it without my AR that quick. I don't know if I could do it without lever and all that.
oh no.
Now, this guy had his stuff laid out there on the bench. This wasn't your typical have to draw stage. Everything was right there on the bench in front of him.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't drawing. Okay, yeah.
And he was, like I said, there were 2 targets, one for the rifle, one for the 2 pistols, and then one for the shotguns.
I'll tell you one. I don't want it for Christmas, but one gun I wouldn't mind picking up would be that new Henry revolver. I don't have one. I've seen it around, and I know Landquest Fitness has one. He's a big fan of it. But that Henry revolver's one I'm interested in. The only thing that I don't know about it, but I'd want to see it in person first before I bought one, would be how the grip is, because the grips look small to me, and y'all know I got decent sized hands, and if I buy that thing and it's super tiny, I'm just gonna end up having to sell it. So,
Well, why the hell would you want a Henry revolver? Wouldn't you be better off with a Glock?
no. Dude, I can't wait for the day that I actually go buy the Glock that I want to buy, so I can just destroy it. And you watch the video where I literally buy a Glock and destroy it just because.
But what's the finish on the revolver?
It's blued steel.
It's blued steel, man.
Oh, why don't you get it plasti dipped then?
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I'm just pulling a Scotsman, changing your whip and arguing with you.
No one would do that to a revolver.
Now, I saw a revolver on Bud's website I'd like to get. It was a Ruger GP100 chambered 44 special.
Oh, yeah.
Blued steel, wood grip. The only downside to it was a 5-round capacity.
Yeah.
4-inch barrel.
I've seen the GP 110 millimeter, but I haven't seen one in a long time. I wouldn't mind having one like that in 10 millimeter.
Trust me, 5 rounds of 44 special will do what you need to do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Providing you do your part. 44 special is awesome. Of course, 44 Magnum is awesomer, but it hurts more.
All right, so Rob, what do you want for Christmas, ma'am?
All right. Does it have to be gun related?
It doesn't have to be. It's whatever, dude.
All right.
We're just having a general
Trying
conversation.
to think, but that was gonna, gun related. I'll always take an MP5. So send a couple my way. I appreciate it. Other than that, honestly, what I'd really like is to be able to just kind of unplug from life for 2 weeks. I don't know, a vacation, not have to be worried about like my mom's health or just life in general. I just like to have less stress for a little bit. But it's unrealistic, so we do what we can. So
It's not unrealistic, man. You just got to find a way to get away for a minute,
Yeah. Just take a holiday job at the beach applying sunscreen to good looking women.
yeah, one of them tanning boys. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, huh?
Hold on. Your old lady would murder you.
What? No, they were talking about me. No.
See, I told you she's standing right there. I know.
Wink, wink.
Whoop.
She got you whooped, boy.
And nice job somewhere warm, tropical, building cabanas or something. That would work for a little bit.
Yeah, a hot dog stand on the beach.
I'll take it.
Hot dogs and frozen daiquiris. Come get you one.
How about a pool boy?
That's
In
the same
Miami.
thing. That's the same thing.
That would work.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And pools are crowded and be a pain. So
No,
Yeah,
we
he's
ain't talking.
He
I'm
doesn't
talking
really
about
wanna
private duty, man.
doesn't really want to be around people too much.
You go to the house and work on the beat, work on the pool when hopefully everybody's at work or school.
That's not a bad job during the summer. Not at all. Everybody knows who Courtney Cox is, right? It was on Friends.
Yeah.
Her daddy owns Cox Pool Company here in Mountain Brook. She's from here. And
She can come clean my pool. I don't have a pool, but she's more than welcome here.
well, I don't think she does much pool cleaning.
Again, I don't have a pool, but she's more than welcome here.
You'll dig her a hole and put a hose pipe in it.
I've done that job for a short period through a temp service back when I was like 18 or 17 or something like that. It was all right. It's not as glamorous, I think, as people think. I mean, it's a lot of cleaning filters. There's chemicals. It'll, fuck your skin up if you're not careful. Obviously, anybody's got a pool probably has an idea, but some clients are real ass. It's like everything. Some people are real cool. You want a drink? You're welcome to hop in or whatever. And then other people are like, don't step on my grass and looking over your shoulder the whole damn time. And then if you got to pick up like hot tubs, people would, they'd run deals like your first month free or some shit. College kids would rent them and then return them after the party, basically. And you could damn near scrape the sludge off the side of those damn things. I mean, they were nasty, like biohazard type shit. Like you don't want to touch none of that. But surprisingly, they're fairly easy to move when you understand how it's done and whatnot. So transport back, obviously clean up, whatever. I guess it gets sold as reduced or used or something. I don't know how they do all that, but it's not a bad. I would assume that would be a decent job if you live somewhere in a real ritzy area. You could probably do well with a decent clientele. So
And the richer they are, the less they want to pay.
maybe, I don't know, but it's just it's bigger jobs in a sense. So bigger pools, better service. They're not cheaping out on all the different care. You're probably going to do more service than the average guy that's doesn't want to do it at all.
A lot of adult movies started out with the pool boy going to the house, and there'd be the rich divorced woman.
Yeah.
Careful what you say here. You're on
Yeah,
live.
I thought he was going to start talking about mopping up after the private viewing booths at the porn stores.
I never had any of those encounters as my temporary service there. I've had some invites while doing roofs that involve pools and people in bathing suits and whatnot, but not actually as a pool boy. So
Well, the summer I graduated high school, I worked for the gas company, and you had to go knock on somebody's door when you had to fix their gas line. And you'd always, the general thing you would say is when they come to the door, say, "I'm from the gas company. I'm here to tube your service." And sometimes you get a younger woman come to the door and they look at you like, "You want to what?" Like, fix your gas line. Oh, okay.
that's another area where you can run into some issues as a service tech or whatever. There's been several times where I've met people gone back for service that was scheduled, and the wife just happens to be popping out of the shower, oh, come on in, and oops, drops the towel or whatever the case is. It happens. Another lady, this one lady, man, she must have been like, I guess it doesn't matter, but she was like a 350-pound lady in pink lingerie. Like, I was like, God damn, when she opened the door, like, what, like I forgot something in my truck. I left.
I heard my mom.
The only thing's going to be money. Get all that in that lingerie.
I came back with backup, and no lie, there was like condoms stuck on the wall behind the TV and shit. Like, people just toss shit around. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on in this place, but yeah, some people are funny, and then wives will intentionally like be a little extra nice to you because they had an argument with their husband earlier. Now it throws you in some weird shit. Or they'll call you and ask about a detail. Like, things can get weird really quick as a service provider. So, my rule of thumb is I always try to deal with both of you, or I bring back up in any situation. I've had a mentally, I can't think of the word now, but a kid with some issues. What was she like? I guess 16, just stripped down, just take her clothes off, start following me around the house. Like, thank God I wasn't the only person there, but I'm like, hey, like, get your kid, yo. Like, the weirdest shit, man. Like, but the wrong time, the wrong situation, that could ruin a dude's life, man. Like you got to be really careful. Some people doing a roof. This dude's little 12-year-old daughter got her ass cheeks just hanging in the wind, all smiling and shit. Like, dude, you got to do something with your kid, man. Like, I'm cool, but I had other people with me, and I think they're cool, but I don't know them. I work with them occasionally. You know what I mean? Like, your kid shouldn't have her ass just hanging out here like that, So, and then people get pissed off at you because you're trying to look out for them. It's just it can be a problem. People can be a problem. That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah, it is. That's kind of like the poor computer guy that's sitting there at Staples or Office Depot or one of those places, and somebody comes in and says, "My computer won't work." And by the time you get through it, you find out, well, he's got every, he's been going to every free porn site he could go to, and he's been saving pictures and videos, and it's eat up with viruses and all kinds of exploits on his computer. And you tell him, say, the best thing I can do is wipe your computer out and start scratch. Can you save documents? No, there's nothing that can be saved on here. If I save one single file, it's going to be corrupt. And you'll be right back in the same mess. You need to stay off these sites. Well, I don't go to stuff like that. Maybe it's your wife. I don't have a wife. Well, probably your kids then. I don't have kids. Then guess who it is? It's you.
Yeah.
It doesn't just get on there by itself.
On the other side of that, I think people should know, if you do bring your computer in for service, there's a law out there. I don't know what it is now, but basically anything, they're like mandated reporters. So if you have anything that looks funny, don't be surprised if you get a knock on your door. So
yeah,
just something to consider. And it could be seen as good in some cases, but in other cases, it's, out of context. Things could be be issues where there is none. And with certain stuff, it doesn't matter if you're guilty or not. You're just labeled. So be careful.
Yeah, you go to pick up your computer and there's guys standing there in uniforms with handcuffs, and
Yeah, we all know they track everything these days anyway. You just got to be careful.
it's coming. I mean, have you ever seen a single person that gets brought down for, any kind of fraud or anything? That they always either bring them down with one or two things: taxes or porn.
Yeah. I think some of it uses a weapon.
They dig deep enough, they can find something you didn't claim on your taxes.
No.
They're going to find something. And the second is they can plant anything on your computer.
Yep. That shit'll be there by the time you get home with the officers. Yeah. That's the funny part about some of that. Yeah. But since we're on technology, in case people don't know, a guy recently just got popped because his iPhone called the police on him, basically, because he took a photo of his son's rash, child son, and sent it to the doctor. And the next thing you know,
they're knocking on his door.
Yeah, he got flagged. It was, an issue. It's there's an article, I just seen a thing on it today or yesterday. Basically, no matter who you use, it doesn't matter if it's Apple, Google, whatever. Android, they're all doing it. So it just automatically happens through the servers now. So anything you punch in on your phone, anything you text, anything like that, photos, all gets reviewed by the server for potential issues. So if anything's pulled out of context, like with that dude, he didn't go to jail, but he's still banned from all Google, even though he wasn't charged with a crime, or Google just shut his shit down. So now all his shit's done. But, it's something to keep an eye out for, obviously, not trying to help criminals, but I don't want to, I don't want good people getting jammed up over stupid shit either.
Oh,
so.
no, the problem is there's more and more push for digital everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and holy shit, your cars are ratting on you too now.
You brought up a good point of he was taking a picture and sent it to the doctor, and they're pushing more and more for digital stuff with doctors. So if that's the case, that's ridiculous, because everyone's going to end up getting freaking knocks on the doors.
Well, good. You get on the wrong list, they can find anything to make you look dirty. So, and you're doing like the honorable thing, trying to get care for your kid. Do I need to bring them in? Is this a problem? So I don't know. That in that example, but yeah.
My kids are grown now, but when they were young, I mean, this started way back in the late 80s and early 90s. I'd tell my wife, I said, you do not take the kids to the pediatrician and ever leave their side. Never let them take them to a single room without you're with them.
I agree to that too.
That just, you do not ever let the doctor do it. And case in point, my son fell against we'd restored an old house, and it had one of the central gas stove heaters in the house, and he knocked the barricade out of the way and bumped his arm up against it, and it burned his arm. Not severely bad or anything, but she rushed him to the doctor, and she called me and she said, they've taken him back. And I said, well, I told you never leave his side. She said, well, they told me that I couldn't go back for that. I said, I told you, then you walk out and find another doctor. And, but what was happening back then is they would take your child, separate you from your child, and call Child Protective Services and the police, because they assumed that there was, child abuse going on. And I called the doctor and I said, I called the doctor's office. I said, you got 30 seconds to tell my wife to come back in the room with you, or I'm on my way. And the guy said, well, I don't want any trouble. I said, it's too late for that. I know what you're doing. I know what you're pulling. So I said, here's the thing. You need to put those two back together in the same room. I said, if she doesn't call me and tell me that she's in the room with him, I will get you before the sun goes down. And somebody has to tell somebody like that. And now that everybody's somber, I still to this day I told my kids the same thing about my grandkids. Do not let the doctors ever separate you from your child, because you can't trust them.
I'm totally with you, man. Not to be a downer or whatever or whatnot, but I totally get it. It's people for different motives. They try to put words in people's mouths. I've seen this happen with schools. I've seen this happen with police officers. You just, don't tell your kids, just don't volunteer information. I'm never going to tell you to lie, but don't volunteer information, because things get taken out of context. You know what I mean? So,
I'm in the room.
Exactly. I had a scenario with my daughter one time where she learned firsthand. So with a police officer, she got jumped, but yet they arrested her, and we're trying to put her in on charges. So, and of course, whole thing went like viral and shit. They refused to look at any of the evidence. They took edited video is what they were going to use for them. Like, it screwed up her whole ceremony thing. There's a whole bunch of shit that went along with this. If it wasn't for my connections, getting it in front of somebody that matters, the full thing, she would have got railroaded all this, trying to, because the police changed what she said, everything. I'm like, just do not talk to it. I'll be right there. She was talking to him when I got there. Next thing you know, they were throwing her in cuffs. She left her in a van for 2 hours. Like the girl that beat her up or attacked her, stomping her out, she was in and out, no problems. Like, it was like the whole reverse scenario. It all got flipped the hell around. Yeah. So anyway, it was a clear case that, yes, she fought back, because here that could be a problem, especially with the school system. But she was legally within her rights to try to fight back at that point, considering she just got jumped and was on the ground getting beat. Who the hell wouldn't try to fight back? So
you gotta defend yourself.
Yeah, but
now that
didn't be like that.
Brought the entire chat down. Jamie, you want to bring it back up?
Yeah, I'll try, but then I gotta go, man. I've been up all night, most of the night, running my smoker. Here's the thing, though. Y'all were talking earlier about this stuff, and I don't want to do that, but me and Garage Guys talking on our football thing. there's a lot of people in this world that think the law don't apply to them, and that it's okay to have relationships with people who are under them at work, their subordinates. That's never going to be okay, guys. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to go and get ready for Christmas tomorrow. But looking forward to some football. There'll be a lot of pro games on tomorrow. Not exactly my cup of tea, but we got.
Before you go, brother, what are you smoking?
I smoked a hind quarter, a whole pork loin, and a Boston.
Nice.
And it's already done. I was up all night last night cooking it. I got it off the smoker about 2 a.m. So it was ready for our family get together today, and turned out quite well. And I also made 9 pounds of venison country style breakfast sausage. And we're going to have pancakes and sausage in the morning. The boys are coming over. So, on top of being up to 2 o'clock, smoking meat, last night I got to get up at like 7 o'clock and get ready to start cooking breakfast tomorrow morning. So,
I'll be firing up the smoker in the morning, man.
good deal, man. Good deal.
I got a full eye of round to smoke.
There you go. Merry Christmas, Kyle. God bless you, brother. All right, so I'm going to take off. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. Scotsman, hopefully I'll talk to you tomorrow. And we wish my family and myself, and probably all these guys on the panel, wish all of y'all the best Christmas ever, at least until next year.
Appreciate you, brother. Stay safe. We'll talk soon, man.
Good night,
Take it
y'all.
easy, Dan.
Oh, Dad gone. It got warm today, but it's getting chilly now.
Yeah, it's almost 70 degrees here.
It was high today was like 72 here.
The high was 39. Fuck you all.
Yeah, stop bragging, damn it.
I'm sorry, man. That's what realtors are for.
If it hit 50, it would have been kilt weather, but 39's a little chilly.
Yeah, he could.
Actually, realtors are a big issue right now. I don't know if you guys are, aware in that area or whatever, but states are doing some different things. I know Florida's having some issues. They're trying to switch it around on, how they get paid. And it's becoming a big issue. But yeah, friend's mom is a realtor down in Florida, and she's having a midlife crisis right now, talking about leaving the country. Like, God, that's a whole nother story. But basically, realty markets, realtors aren't doing too well in a lot of places right now, or haven't been, I guess. So, and pay's not what it was, or guaranteed in some places either. How they're trying to do things, so they're actually considering changing the laws in Florida on it, so to where the buyer is typically, or the seller typically pays for realtor and the buyer's realtor, which in Florida at least, which is something most people may or may not know. I don't know, might be shocked by. They're trying to cut that out. So basically you got to shop for a realtor directly, but then realtors are saying like, Pete, nobody's going to like the price of that. So it's a whole damn thing going on. But basically realtors, from my understanding and the people I know, aren't having the best time right now.
All right. So this question is probably good for both you, Garage Guy, and probably myself, but I'll let you go first. So Kyle's asking, if you get out there and you want to do a big range day with your revolver, is there something you do prior to make it easier to clean after the fact?
Ballistol. It works really well. If I'm going to go out and I'm planning on shooting, say 200 rounds through a revolver, I'll make sure this is lubed up pretty good with it. I don't mean soaking wet or anything, but it does help with the cleaning process afterwards.
Yep, I was going to say the same thing, Ballistol. So Ballistol, basically what you want to do is you want to have something on there that is designed to repel dirt and water. And Ballistol is one of those kinds of things. And like Garage Guy said, you don't want to be coating the living hell out of it, but you want to have a decent coat on there. And then it'll make it a lot easier once you get back in to do cleanup afterwards.
Is that a spray it down, wipe it off? I've never used Ballistol.
Yeah, I've got the aerosol Ballistol, and I got a bottle of the liquid Ballistol.
A little goes a long way.
Yeah. Yeah,
I got sent a small bottle of it a couple of years ago, and I still have that bottle because it goes a long way. It doesn't take a whole lot.
Yeah, I bought a used Ruger SR45 about 2 years ago, and when I saw it at the gun shop, they just received it on a trade-in, and they let me look at it, and I took it apart there, and the thing probably had been shot and been put up somewhere for years. They probably forgot about it and then used it as a trade-in. I mean, that thing was nasty. I took a little Tupperware tub, poured 25% Ballistol, 75% water in, and took that Ruger apart and just submerged it overnight in that Ballistol. Next morning, I got it out. I did a video on it, and next morning I got it out and wiped it down, dried it off. Thing's still slick as a ribbon.
Yeah, Ballistol's impressive stuff. It stinks to high heaven, but it works a treat.
Yeah, and everything in it, I think, is pretty well natural. There's no harmful chemicals in it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You just gotta just make sure you're in a well ventilated area, and
Yeah.
again, doesn't take a whole lot of it, but it works good. And then depending on what kind of revolver you have, if you're shooting like a stainless one or a high polish or something like that, you can always go ahead and do flits after the fact and polish it up with some flits.
Yeah.
But you can use on blue guns too. You just don't want to put a ton on there. You got to be careful because if you put too much on, it can eat away at the finish. You just got to be real careful with it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I tell you, that Ruger, that SR45 I was talking about, I mean, I took it apart and that thing had been dirty and sitting for so long, it even smelled bad. I'm like, who in the world does this, you know? Obviously somebody didn't have no business owning it to begin with, you know? I mean, you got to take care of your stuff.
Well, it's I had a text last week. I was talking with Batjack JW. If you guys don't know who Batjack is, go look him up. But Batjack JW is a really good guy. He's right around my age. He might be just a hair younger, maybe. But but he is a big revolver guy too, old school movie dude. And I was talking with him last week, and he was telling me how someone had brought in a 1911, and he was looking at it, and someone who claimed to be a gunsmith for over 60 years of experience had worked on it. And the pictures that I got, I don't think the guy had 6 days of experience. I mean, the thing was fucking destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. If you don't know what you're doing, please, for the love of God, do not touch it. Seek someone out who does, and make sure they have a freaking clue what they're doing, because it's so easy to mess something up. There's plenty of times that I'll tell you straight up, I don't know, but I will go find you the answer. And that's typically what I'm going to tell you. If I don't know, I will tell you, I will go find you the answer.
Yeah.
And I will. I'll go find it. And that's one thing I love doing. I get people texting me, emailing me all the time, asking me about guns and asking different questions. And I'll go do some research. I'll figure it out. That's one of my big things. I love doing that stuff. So I encourage you guys. You're out there, you have something that you're not sure about, and you have questions on it, shoot me an email or shoot me a text if you got my number, and I'll do the research for you.
You know, it amazes me how many people sit in gun shops with the title gunsmith because they're just the guy that thinks he knows how to fix stuff, and no real certification, no real qualification. He's just one of those guys that, for whatever reason, that particular gun store's named him their gunsmith.
Well, and you find that typically in large retail stores, and that's the sad part, because when they put that on there, they're saying that, you know, the guy knows what he's doing. Well, typically what that guy knows is maybe how to mount a scope and do it well, and that's it. And you're lucky if he actually knows how to do it well. You really, in my experience over the years, it's you got 1 or 2 people in the entire shop who actually knows how to mount a scope properly, and then you got a half dozen people or so that can do it, but it's not going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm having to learn. So,
you know, when I started mounting scopes before I did anything else with guns. So when I started in the industry years ago, it was I started dealing with the optics side of things first, and then people saw that I had a good attention to detail and understood glass and what the glass did and all the different coatings and all the rest of it. So they started having me come behind the gun counter and working with customers behind the counter. And as I started doing that, they had me start to work with mounting scopes and doing this and doing that. And I'd say probably within the first 6 months or so, I was the main guy for doing scope mounting and doing this and doing that. And, you know, it didn't take long before they had me behind the counter selling guns, and the rest is history, man. But I couldn't tell you how many thousands, and I mean thousands of scopes that I've mounted over the years. I mean, I've lost count. It's a absolute shit ton. And 99% of them, I've never used a torque wrench. I know Jamie will probably shit a brick at here and that, but I've never used a torque wrench because I don't have to, because I know, because I've mounted so many, when to stop. You know, if you're a mechanic, you know, mechanics know, most mechanics out there, they know when to start wrenching on something, they know when to stop. Same thing. I know I've mounted so many scopes, I know just when that sweet spot is to stop.
Well, today, even in the mechanics field, you can't get away without using a torque wrench anymore.
I wouldn't do it. I would do it for myself. I've done it, like even tightening up my own lug nuts. I torque them, but I am notorious for snapping shit. I'll snap breaker bars. I'll snap any goddamn thing. It's just what I do. I'm like, oh, it's a little bit more. Now working on my own shit, that's different. I could get by without, but if I'm doing anything serious, if it's a paid job for somebody else, I'm running a torque wrench, and the proper torque wrench without extensions or funny shit or different sizes. You got to do it right, or the whole thing's up.
I
The
literally
reason
had
why,
I literally
the
had
reason
people
why,
go behind me and take the
yeah,
torque
well,
wrench.
all right, you're Mr. Perfect, but either way, if there's no verification,
I'm not saying I'm
somebody comes back
man.
on you, and then that's leverage they can use against you when something goes bad.
I'm
You know
not
what I
saying
mean?
I'm
Like,
Mr. Perfect by any means of the matter, dude. I'm just telling you, I've done so many of them that it's never failed me yet. It's not saying it's never gonna, but it's never failed me yet. And I literally
right.
had people go behind and check before, many times over. People have gone behind and checked and said, "Hey, I don't know," but and they go take the torque wrench and it's right there. It definitely, shit can happen. I'm not subject to shit not happening. I've had shit happen. I've worked on other people's guns in the past, and I've done a couple jobs here over the last year or so, working with the gunsmith out here in town. He's asked me to do some work for him. I've done some work and had some shit happen. Shit happens, man. But the thing of it is just know how to fix it. Know what you're doing and take your time and know how to fix it and take care of the problem. Don't make excuses for it. Something happens, fix it.
Yeah. But it is, at least for me in my mind, I could argue something a lot better if I know for a fact it was done the way the manufacturer requested it. You know what I mean? I could even show you my wrench or whatever to get, like, look, man, that's why you hired me, because I'm the OCD guy that's going to spend an extra 20 minutes getting it straight. Like that's what that's what it is, but basically, that alone, you can honestly, with good conscience, know you didn't fuck up, because sometimes you get a bad part, like even an auto part or anything like that, and then the guy doing the job gets blamed for the shitty quality of the parts that they bring to the guy doing the job half the time. So, and in some cases, if you know it's shit, don't even install it, because when it breaks, they're coming back to you.
When it comes to scope rings, the one thing that I would say to pay attention to and watch out for is, I don't know if you've ever seen the scope rings that basically have a nut on there that you can essentially take a socket and put a socket over it. Those are notorious for snapping. And I never recommend those rings to anybody. They typically have the nut on there. You can put a socket over it and torque it down with a socket, or it's got two holes in it that you could put a wrench through and pull, or a screwdriver and torque it that way. I do not recommend those kinds of scope rings ever, because they break constantly.
And
they
now,
are
if that was
the worst rings to ever buy.
If that was my customer, I would have them clearly understand that I'm not responsible for that. If these fall apart in a week, whatever, before I do the job. If they still want me to do it, that's fine. It's like, you want me to put your siding on upside down or vertical? It's not a code hazard. It's not going to be something that hurts them. I'll gladly do it, but don't bitch at me when it falls apart, because it wasn't designed to go that way. Like, that's not something I'm wanting.
I've done that exact thing with customers when people insisted upon those. Took them back, went and on them. They freaking snapped and said, "Hey, look, you already bought it, dude. I told you straight up not to buy it, but you didn't listen to me."
Well, it used to not be as big a deal when most of the fasteners and everything that you were tightening down were all made in the United States. But now a lot of it's made in China. Even if the scope's made in the United States, the rings probably aren't, and if they are, the screws probably aren't.
One of the bigger issues we have is so much stuff is MIM parts, and MIM parts are not actually one-piece parts. They're all, they're it's just shit that's gonna fail. It's designed to fail.
Yeah, well, it's
Supplement like injection molding parts, like the cheap pot metal cast
Right.
stuff.
Exactly. They're pot metal. Yep.
And well, I
they
mean,
want you to break it.
yeah,
They charge you for a new one.
and in some areas, I think, I think that kind of gets a bad name in some areas, like a lot of things over time. The process have evolved. Not saying it's the top shit or anything, but probably in the right applications, there's a lot of areas it's probably fine in your toaster or this or that or whatever. But yeah, when you're talking about areas where it's life or death, spend a couple extra bucks.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. The basic rule. And people always laugh when I used to say this, but people who come in looking at scopes and I explain them, the basic rule is you're going to spend probably 2 to 3 times what you spent on the rifle on your scope. And they go, what? And I'm like, you want accuracy, or you just, you just want to go pull the trigger and just pull the trigger for pulling the trigger. And well, I want accuracy. Well, if you want some really good accuracy, you want good clarity, and you want to make sure you take that deer of a lifetime or that moose of a lifetime, or whatever it may be you're going to go hunt, you're going to put some dime down to make sure you're taking care of that.
Yeah.
No, I got to argue with you on that too, man. There's a lot of country boys that have done some shit you ain't supposed to do with guns you would laugh at.
Oh, I'm
But
sure.
they got dinner on the table. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, to be the best in your trade or something like that, sure, things like that. But I think a lot of people have put a lot of food on the table with a cheap ass scope or no scope.
Well, I can tell you a little quickie. I fished on the professional bass circuit trail. It was not the main class. I fished in the federation class, which is you got to win so many federation tournaments before you go pro. And my favorite guy in bass fishing at the time was Bill Dance, and he always pumped Daiwa Procaster reels. So of course, what did I have? Four of each, the best ones that they had. And he fished a local tournament here back in about 1977, 78. And we skipped school and went up to watch the tournament. And he was loading his boat, getting it ready to launch. And he didn't have a single damn Daiwa reel on any rod in his boat. Everything he had was Abu Garcia.
Damn, he got suckered.
And
advertisement.
Well, no, I learned a lesson. I mean, they suited me fine for what for the level that I was at. That was fine. But here's the thing: they were making a living off of advertising. Daiwa was paying him. Ambassador wasn't, but he fished with Ambassador reels. And so I don't pay a whole lot of attention to name brands as much anymore as I used to, or really the guys. You pick up a hunting magazine and you see these guys that go on these big hunts, or watch Steve Ranella or one of those guys go on a big game hunt.
2025 top scopes, must have users. Yeah.
I've got to have this kind of scope, or I've got to have that kind of scope. I got to have a Schmidt and Bender. I've got to have a Loophole, whatever. That's all. I'm not knocking those brands at all. But
a fantastic example of that was years ago. This show started, and it was only available. I forget on what fucking app on the TV, but it was called Bow Hunt or Die. And Bow Hunt or Die was just a couple of dudes who were basically doing YouTube videos, but doing it on a different platform. And, they got picked up and they were doing it via streaming services. And, then they got a few other guys around the country that jump in, send in videos and all the rest of it. And it started to get big. And as soon as it started to get big, all these advertisers came in, and
Yep.
everything that you saw from that point onward was always just about advertising. It was never about actual fucking hunting anymore. It was never about, oh, the guy missed and talk about how he missed or why he missed and all the rest of it. It was, they only showed fantastic fucking shots and great kills and all the rest of it. And it was, oh, because of this equipment, buy this equipment, As soon as it went that route, I'm like, dude, I can't watch this crap no more. Like they literally sold out the minute someone says, hey, here's use our equipment, sell out. Boom, they did.
I actually was a field archer for PSC Archery and went on a grizzly bear hunt in Canada and literally saw those guys. I never got a grizzly. I didn't even get to see one, but one of the guys that went with us got one. Well, the first thing they did is, he went out and everything, looked at the grizzly and all that, and they said, we'll move the bear where it's to a place that's more photogenic, and we'll come get you in a Jeep and bring you back to take pictures. And what seemed kind of funny, I swear to God, when we got back, they were blow drying that dead grizzly bear's hair, where they had washed it and shampooed it all real pretty and blew it where it looked all fluffy and set a brand new whatever bow that they just took out of a box down and set it down there. And then he knelt down in front of the bear and held the arrow up in his hand. Wasn't even the arrow he shot the bear with.
Yep.
And I thought, there's something that's just wrong about this. It's all about advertising. Of course, that guy didn't care. And really, to tell you the truth, I didn't care that much either, because they paid for the hunt. They paid for my airplane ticket. They paid for my hunting license. They paid for my bear tags. I got to shoot about 5 deer because the game warden came by and told the place where we were hunting and said, how many deer have you taken? And they said, I hadn't taken any. He said, well, I'm going to start pulling grizzly tags if you don't kill some deer. So the guy looked at us and he says, guess what, guys? We're going deer hunting. And hunting deer in Canada is like shooting cows in a field, because that's literally what was going on. They sitting in the field, and it's unbelievable how close to them you could get. And it was just thwanging and banging, and you just dropping deer right and left.
Yeah,
I think that day 14 deer were killed.
I'm not big on companies trying to push this or push that. I look at equipment and I look at the technology, and if it's good stuff, I'll tell you it's good stuff. But it's just like there's a big reason I've never had channel sponsors, because every time someone reaches out, they go, hey, if we send you this, would you do this review or whatever? And I look at them and I go, well, it's fine. You can send it out. I'll look at it. But if it's shit, I'm going to say it's shit. And 9 times out of 10, they all say, okay, and disappear. I'm not going to, just because you're offering to send me something, I'm not going to sit there and just fucking shell it for you. I'm not, I'm going to look at it, and if it's good, yeah, I'll say it's good. But if it's not good, I'm going to say it's absolute shit. I'm not going to lie about the damn thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Go ahead.
Do you ever get before you post a bad review, will you send it to us first?
Oh, so that one light that I got, the pistol light, I got that pistol light. And I talked with that company back and forth for probably 4 months before I even posted the video. And told them all the fucking problems that I had with the fucking light. And the response I got was so retarded, I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'm just going to post a video. And then I posted the video, and they're like, well, we have this this other thing we'd like you to look at. I forget what it was. Would you be interested in looking at it? I'm like, that's fine. I was like, just, a heads up. It's going to be the same as the flashlight that you sent. If it's shit, I'm going to say it's shit. And the response I got back was, well, would you send us the video first before you post it so that we can look at it and make sure it's okay? And I sent an email back, and my email was simply this. Well, that wouldn't be being honest with my people that watch my videos, would it? And I got no response back.
Yeah, that's
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not. I don't care. I don't give a shit what you fucking send me. I'm not gonna lie about it. If it's shit, it's shit. If it's good, it's good.
well, that's
Yeah, I brought up about a year ago on here. There's this one YouTuber, one of the big channels. He's got over 1 million subscribers. He's down south. I'm not going to mention who he is, but in several of his videos, he says, well, Smith & Wesson sent me this to test, or Ruger, or whoever. And there's this one video in particular that I watched, and he said, well, they sent me this for test and evaluation. And when he's shooting a gun, all the spent shell casings are going back and hitting him in the head, hitting him in the face, barely bouncing off his arm or whatever. And not at one time during that video did he ever mention the bad ejection. Never said a word about it. All he did was brag on the firearm, never said one thing about the brass hitting him in the face.
he was already bought and sold.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem, man. And like when I was talking about, you're gonna spend 2 to 3 times what you spend on the gun for a scope. It's a generalization, but generally you're gonna look at what kind of quality you want to get. And I'm only going to recommend quality. I'm not trying to force you into something that you don't want to spend. You want to buy a cheap scope, buy a cheap scope. I'm still going to advise you on the better of the cheap scopes, but I would rather you went with quality because you'll be a lot happier, but I'm not going to push into something that is just crap just because someone's telling me, hey, I'm going to send this to you and whatever. That's not how I work. I'm not. I don't sell shit to sell shit. If I'm gonna recommend something, I'm gonna recommend it to you because it's quality.
Well, that's like all of these big time YouTube gun guys that backed the SIG P320 when it came out, and then it started having all the problems it had, and now they're all making excuses. I'm like, just tell the damn truth. Maybe you didn't have a problem with the particular one you had, but that doesn't negate the problem that, 150 other people didn't have problems with it. And by the same point, SIG just needs to make it right. Just replace them.
I'm not gonna get into this conversation because of all the videos that I've seen of all these different things that where they're saying it went off by themselves, it didn't fucking go off by themselves. Like the airman, the air guardsman, whatever it was that said it went off, it didn't go off by itself. He had his fucking finger right there. He pushed it into the holster, and as he was pushing it in the holster, it got caught on something and fucking went off. As clear as fucking day. It did not just go off. He was putting it back in the holster, and he pushed on it, and as he pushed on it, it fucking went off.
Yeah, but that's one out of the hundreds.
No, but I'm saying, like, all of these, I've watched all these different ones. Everyone is claiming it just fucking went off. It's bullshit. The one where the other airman got shot, the guy has already fucking admitted he pulled the trigger.
Well, if you take the shootings out of it, take the ones you're talking about, those videos, there's also videos out there of people doing pretty good tests with them and barely applying any pressure and basically getting them, to go off, dry fire. But, that, because like you said, the design, or you didn't say, but like it's been said, the design is in all types of brands, basically similar, not exact, but the
Right.
same type. Any kind type of striker fired firearm is a
The
similar type of
striker
design.
fire
Right.
system is
So,
tried and true, and they
but
all use basically the same system. So
right,
if
but
you're
there
saying,
is
if
a
you're saying
difference with the
one,
SIG. There is
if
a difference
you're
with
saying
the SIG,
one
though.
is prone to failure, they're all prone to failure.
Right now, there is a difference with the SIG because it's shown in these videos where the other ones it does take more pressure to actually get it to fire. Where the SIG it barely took anything. Now it doesn't mean it's
Well,
a bad
it's
gun, but it's just the limit is really close. And then you match that with a Safari holster that's got a damn little peg in the trigger well. And apparently, whether people want to admit it or not, because it's all been with Safari holsters, that's a bad combination. Just with
well,
that gun.
and
Just
that's
with
what
that
I was
gun.
saying. Like that's what I was saying. Like with the air guard, guys put is in the holster and he pushed on it, and it hit something that was in there in the trigger and hit the fucking
Right.
trigger. It didn't just
For
go off.
some reason, the SIG has just less leeway than a Glock or Smith and Wesson or whatever you name it. It's just got less leeway there to where it's become kind of an issue. It's definitely something. I'm not for or against whatever. It's people buy what you want to buy. You might die in your car on the way to the store too. It's probably way more likely. I don't know, but it's all up to you. But I would definitely think there's. Not saying it's way more sensitive on that to where it could potentially be a problem with specific guns, not every single one, but it
Could
the
be.
evidence is out there.
I mean, it could be, but I'll tell you, like Alan, and I wish Alan was here to argue this point because Alan will tell you all day long. I think he's got like 5 or 6, maybe even 7, and he's never had a single issue, and he's never sent any of them back for any of it. So,
I mean, since
just the fact that they did offer a fix, that means they found something wrong.
no, what that means is what they did was they offered a fix for something that wasn't there on purpose because so many people were bitching and complaining. And it's just like it's the same thing with how in the past year, so many people were complaining and saying that it was going off, and a lawsuit was filed, and they just said, "Oh, you know what? Okay, we're just going to pay all this money out." They didn't have to pay anything out. They could have just stopped and said there's nothing wrong with it. But instead of doing that, they said, "Oh no, we're just going to pay all this money out." They're taking the easy way out instead of actually standing up for themselves.
What they were trying to do was hold on to that multi-billion-dollar government contract.
Well, no, if they were trying to hold on to it, they wouldn't.
Ding.
If they were trying to hold on to the contract, they would have stood behind it, but they didn't. They didn't stand behind it.
They lost that contract anyway, but it's funny now. All of the special services and everything else, they're all going back to Glocks. So,
well, can I throw something out here since we're kind of bitching about things? So it's slightly different. It came from the advertisement part where I would just say, obviously there's always new people coming into guns. That gonna hit that age, whatever. They're something, made them turn into a gun person, whatever. There's always new people. So obviously new products are good. And as time goes on, things change and some things may be beneficial with certain options. But what really bugs me is the fact that everybody it's not even just with guns. It's almost everything. Cars, phones, whatever. It's like nobody's happy when you got model, 2 models old. Everybody's got to find a reason to buy the next goddamn gun. Like, not necessarily a problem, but
you're right.
The original in 1911 will still knock your ass to the dirt. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, there shouldn't be any shame. Like,
I would argue the fact that it is a problem. And I'd argue the fact that it is a problem because that's the thing of it. Everyone's got to have the newest and greatest. Oh, the iPhone fucking 20 is out. I got to go buy the new one. And
There was
every year,
nothing wrong with your last one or whatever
they
it
gotta
is. You know,
upgrade
yeah.
every year and put themselves in major debt just
Yep.
to get the newest, latest, greatest fucking phone. When, you know, here I am carrying a fucking revolver from 1979. Yeah,
Well,
dude, it's gonna do the same job your fucking piece of shit Glock's gonna do.
right,
So
but you're not up to the times. You're not a high speed operator.
I'm not up to
You
the
don't
time.
have all
Right.
the goddamn bells and whistles, and
I,
it doesn't order you a coffee too.
I'm the guy that walks around with a 44 Magnum that's gonna blow your head clean off, but I'm not up to the times.
Nah, just it kind of, you know, it's just kind of upsetting. Like nobody, you know, if somebody could be really good with a cheap gun, and it's like nobody wants to give them any credit. Somebody shows up with a new whiz bang, and everybody's like, "Oh man, oh," you know,
You
like
know,
it's
so
just
like
crazy.
all right. Here's a prime example. So my landlord has started getting more and more into guns here recently, and has been looking more and more at defense and trying to get into shooting more. So he's been coming over a lot and doing some shooting, and he's bought a couple of guns recently, and he asked me what he should buy and that, and he wasn't looking to spend a lot of money. You know, so I recommended some off-brand stuff that's, you know, not terrible. It's good quality, and it's basically clones of other guns, and they all shoot just fine. And so he bought all those. You know, he's come over, he shot them, they shoot fine, and you know, even though they're striking fire, every now and then I'll shoot with him just because he's asking me for advice, and you know, I'm trying to help him get him on the right path and all that. So, you know, I have to make examples here and there, and I don't necessarily have to shoot, but he asked me to shoot here and there, so I'll shoot. But you even these cheap guns do perform well. So, you know, don't knock it just because it's cheap. You know, there's if it's a clone of something else, it's probably going to run okay so long as the parts they're using are quality parts. It's probably going to run okay.
It's not even necessarily a cheap thing. I mean, it could be, you know, you bought something nice on the higher end, but you bought it 6 years ago. Everybody now has got this new model that's got this or that, this or that. I mean, you know, if you really don't need it, then what the hell's the point of buying it? Like, you know, if you want to collect it, whatever, but you shouldn't feel guilted by society when when you can't miss with the one you got. It's already perfect.
Oh,
Why
and
are you
that's the
screwing
thing.
around? And you know what I mean?
I always tell people carry the thing that you're going to shoot the best.
Yeah, if it works, if it's doing the job you want, that's all you need. You don't need to do the job and I don't know, have neon lights and shit. You just need to do the job.
It doesn't need to be a fucking 20-round pistol. If you shoot a 5-round revolver good, then carry a fucking 5-round revolver. It don't matter. It's whatever you shoot good. Whatever you trust yourself with, that you know you can defend yourself with, and carry that.
Yeah,
you know,
I think this relates.
Personally, for myself, I shoot my revolvers good, so I carry my revolvers 9 times out of 10. If I'm going into a big city, yes, I'll take a semi-auto pistol with me. But 9 times out of 10, I'm always going to have a revolver.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're just, you know, around the house, you're going to the gas station, or you're, you know, got to pick up a gallon of milk or something like that, fine. I don't know, picking up the gallon of milk thing depends on where. If you go to Walmart,
Yeah, it depends what store you're going to.
Oh, think of it. All depends where you go. That's what I'm saying. Like if I'm going into the big city, yeah, I'm taking a semi-auto with me on top of the revolver. And it's just, you know, a lot more people around, so I want to make sure, you know, I got a little bit extra with me just in case. You never know.
or like Clint Smith always said, if you're carrying one, one is none, two is one, and three makes me happy.
Well, you know, this time of year, you know, it's a great time of year because it's colder, right?
You
And
so thing.
I was having this conversation with Greg here about a week or so ago, week and a half ago, whatever it was. Lion Quest Fitness. If you guys don't know who Lion Quest Fitness is, go check him out. Really good dude. Greg was a former police officer. He works for the fire department. He's working on his EMT license and big on self-defense, big in training and different things. Done a lot of stuff over the years. Me and him have had a lot of good conversations. And we were talking about different ways for people to defend themselves when they got disabilities and this, that, the other. And the topic came up of it being colder and what you carry in the colder months. And I was like, well, it's a perfect time of year for me because, you know, I love Dirty Harry and I love 44 Magnum. And I'm like, it's the perfect time of the year because every time this time of the year, I get to throw on my big jacket and I get to walk around my 4-inch 44 Magnum looking like I'm fucking Dirty Harry, dude. I love it. Is it practical? Not necessarily, but is it fun? Fuck yeah, it is.
Well, it's just like if you know you got a money to buy any kind of car you want, are you going to go buy a Yugo? No, you're going to go buy whatever makes you happy. And you know, when I got this kind of weather, I'm going to carry what makes me happy: a bigger knife and a bigger gun, and more ammo. You know, that's. I always tell people if you're going to carry a gun, you better carry a tourniquet. You know,
and you know, it's that came up too about you know, some of the stuff we had talked about, and I've always said this, and I teach this to people whenever I'm teaching people too. If you're gonna know how to take someone's life, know how to heal.
you better know how to save one. You better, I mean, you better know how to save your own.
People kind of always stop and go, wait, what? If you're gonna know how to take one, know how to heal one. It's that simple. And it doesn't take a whole lot to do some basic stuff and learn how to use a tourniquet and learn how to do this and learn how to do that. Understand the body. The more you understand about the body, the easier it is to defend yourself. But also it's better off for you because now you can also heal if you're in that situation. Say you're out in the mall or whatever. No, I don't ever go to malls, but say you're in a mall and some maniac comes in and starts fucking blowing people away or whatever. You can run and help someone, and you can run and help someone.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, well, hold on. Case in point, my go bag. You know, this is what goes with me when I go anywhere. Of course, I'm not going to pull out the pew pew because that could cause YouTube problems. There's one. I've always got one of these near. And the reason is it's not so much for other people. It may just be for me. And for the simple fact that most people don't even know how to apply one. And, you know, if you're not carrying first aid, I mean, if you don't have quick clot gauze, you don't have an Israeli bandage, you don't have some form of tape or clotting gauze, I mean, that's as important as carrying the gun.
And honestly, all of this stuff that he's talking about doesn't cost that much.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
so I have 3 different bags. I have my basic range bag that goes with me whenever I'm at the range. And then I also have a slightly larger bag that stays in the truck constantly. And then I have my full-on medical kit.
Yeah.
On top of that. So, you know, and you guys are welcome. If you want want to see a video on some of that stuff, let me know and I'll do a video on it. But basically, you know, it breaks down. So your basic one that's on me at all times, you know, tourniquet, bandages, Israeli bandage, clotting, your basic stuff, you know, burn pads and some other shits in there as well.
Yeah, if I have to explain what this is to anybody, you're already behind the game,
Right.
and it's not a marker. You know,
It's just the basic stuff that you need to take care of someone, and that's it. And again, if you're gonna know how to take someone out, know how to heal someone.
that
Well,
is
technically, if you want to help or anything like that, you might want to know the healing first, in a sense too. But
yeah.
with with this conversation, you know, I'd also add you don't just buy a tournament and slap that shit on. You got to go take a class. You
That's what I'm saying. You got to go learn it. Go learn
yeah,
it.
because there's
you know,
times you don't want to use a tourniquet. The tourniquet's for specific purpose, so you don't want to just, you know, bump your leg and oh shit, where's a tourniquet? Like, you know, if you leave it on too long, they're gonna amputate. So, you know, there's rules of this type of shit. Obviously, even with some of the bandages, if they're allergic to shellfish, that could be a problem. Do you need to worry about that? Depends what state you're in. So, like, you know, go to a damn class. But yes, definitely have it.
You got to remember that things get updated over the years too. So, you know, your basic first aid and you know, taking care of, you know, say someone's having heart problems or whatever, you got to do CPR and all the rest. So you got to remember that's changed over the years. It used to be X amount plus X amount, and now it's changed again and changed again. It changes constantly. So you have to make sure you're taking these classes and staying on top of it. On top of that, I would also say have an extensive library. I have an extensive library of books, not just of guns and historical stuff, so that I'm able to do all my research, do appraisals and all that. But I have a very large collection of books on medical. I have a large collection of books on martial arts, because you guys know I'm in martial arts. I have, you know, my book collection is pretty extensive. It's my bookcase is taller than me and wider than me by quite a bit. And it's overflowing. So yeah, I have a lot of books because you have to have that knowledge.
Well, if you're going to put one of these on somebody, there is, I don't know if it'll show up, but that white thing right there at the top of it is time. You put the time down on there that you applied the tourniquet. When you torque it down, when you torque the windlace down, or windlace, whichever way you want to pronounce it, and you get it compressed and you get the bleeding stopped, you write the time that you applied it on there. For one simple reason, you know, so that the EMTs know, hey, this is when the clock's set. I have to loosen it within a certain amount of time, or either I have to take it off, you know, because I don't want to cause the person to lose their limb. And one thing I can stress, and I can't overstress, every town has a first aid course available, usually for practically free, a Stop the Bleed class.
Yep. Red Cross.
What's that one? What is it? Red or God?
There's a company, North American Tactical. Don't buy a cat
kit.
Not made by North American Tactical. Don't
make your own kit. I'm gonna tell you straight.
I thought you didn't say pre-made kit, yeah, because you get all types of shit, like a little pack of burn cream, a little bit, like all that shit expires.
They're gonna charge you out the ass for all this shit, and 90% of it's all stuff that you can buy for.
Yeah, that's not
60 to 70% less on places like Amazon or eBay or whatever. So buy your own stuff, make your own kit. But this is what part of having the knowledge comes into play of. You need to know what stuff to buy. So go learn that knowledge and know what you need to buy.
It'd be way cheaper and way better off equipped, in my opinion. Because any kit, even if you go down and buy like the largest first aid kit they got at Walmart or something, like it doesn't really have enough for anything serious when it comes to wound care. Like any kind of, you know, where you're really trying to stop something. That it's a bunch. It's like 10 little packs of gauze. Like they're tiny little things. You need
Right. It's
Yeah.
dude,
No,
I can tell you,
no.
I bought so all my medical kits that I've purchased, I've used like my HSA and shit like that. So you can use if you got an HSA or an FSA, you can use that shit to buy all the stuff too. That's what I've done, and that's one way to do it too. So you have all that stuff, and it doesn't really technically cost you anything. I mean, it's still costing you because it's taken out prior to your check, but you know what I mean? It's not costing you anywhere near what it could cost you.
You can probably get the class for free, like he was saying, or damn near free.
Like,
Even here in
like
New York.
For me, it's offered through my work every year.
Okay.
And
But really,
I don't necessarily do it through my work, but I've taken the course many times over the years. I know what I'm doing when it comes to that stuff. There's reasons that I don't do it at work. I'm not really going to get into it, but there's reasons I don't do it at work.
like a lot of things, gear helps, having the ideal, proper stuff. But really, like taking a class, it's the knowledge, because sometimes you might have to improvise. So it's not advised, but it's better than the alternative of doing nothing. So if you understand the process of it, you can do so. Perfect example, I had to do it with my lady when she sliced herself up pretty bad accidentally on a job. And at the time, we didn't have anything good enough to do it. So a T-shirt worked for the moment. Was your artery, right?
Yeah.
It was her artery that was sliced. Was able to get her basically taken to the hospital, dropped off. I took my ass back to work, called me an asshole. And went back to work, got the job done. But
you had to go back and clean up
I had to clean up all the blood. But I use a T-shirt at the time. Basically, it's just keeping a lot of pressure, and was able to use a T-shirt of mine to get it done long enough to get her to the hospital. It wasn't ideal. It wasn't necessarily a tourniquet either, but I'm just stating, like, you got to be able to think outside the box if you know the theory behind it. And you don't have something you can alter.
One of the biggest things that comes to when it comes to doing this stuff is you got to stay calm. And what tends to happen is in situations like this, people freak out. And if you freak out, you're not going to do the right thing. You're going to do the wrong thing, and something's going to make it worse.
Well,
you
if
have to stay
you're the kind
calm.
of person that can't keep
And
your hand it off to a trained person.
Having the basic knowledge will help you to stay calm, but you have to stay calm in situations.
I don't know. Some people see blood and they never calm. They can't calm down, and that's why I always tell people, if there's somebody there, if you're giddy and you're getting lightheaded and everything, just ask, is there anybody here that's trained? And if somebody raises their hand, throw them your kit and go pass out in the corner.
I had so when I lived in Georgia, I was working at the company. There was one of the gals that was she was a greeter, and she started having all kinds of breathing problems, and they rushed her upstairs. No one said anything, didn't hear anything about it. And I happened to I was going upstairs to something. I forget what it was, but I was going upstairs and happened to walk in and saw that she was struggling to breathe, and they had EMT on the way. But they had like 3 people surrounding her, and they were all just fucking panicking. And I'm like, y'all need to fuck off. And they just kind of stopped and looked at me. I'm like, you all need to fuck off because you're making this worse. She needs to calm down, and you're not helping the situation. Leave.
Right. We don't need
I got them out of there, and I got her to calm down. And once she calmed down, her breathing kind of Didn't quite get all the way back to normal, but she was calm enough to where she wasn't fucking having any major issues when the EMT showed up. You have to stay calm in situations, and you have to, if you're going to be someone that's going to do this kind of thing, you have to be able to take control of the situation. And sometimes that means you have to tell other people to get the hell out. It may not seem like a nice thing to do, but if they're making the situation worse, you have to get them out of the situation.
Yeah, and sometimes being nice in that situation, it won't do the job, because they're going to start asking you questions, and if they're pulling your attention away from the patient, you have to turn around and tell them, and whatever, I don't care however stern, filthy, whatever you have to say, but just get the hell out of here. Just go on. You're causing a problem. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's exactly it, man. You all know me. I got no problem telling someone where to go, and when it comes to something like that, I'm straight up about it. I don't care. You need to all get the fuck out. Period.
And I stopped and helped the guy that flipped his car twice. I actually saw when the guy left the interstate and flipped his car, and he had a diabetic coma, and not coma, but he passed out from low blood sugar, and car veered off into the median and flipped twice. And by the time I got to him, he was already coming to from the sugar coma. But the first thing I asked the guy was, I said, "Did you pass out before you had a wreck?" And he goes, "Yes, I did." And I asked, "Anybody got any cookies?" Because by this time there's like 12 cars pulled off on the side road, just gawking. I said, "Anybody got any candy or cookies or crackers or anything?" And somebody did. I said, "Anybody got a Coke or some kind of sugar drink?" And I got the guy some stuff, and it got his blood sugar regulated. And then he's got blood dripping down his face, and I'm having to look for the wounds. And about this time, I hear a car honking, and I look over my shoulder, and it's my cousin going down the interstate. My cousin was an EMT, and he just passed by. And I'm sitting here.
The guy on the clock.
And I'm like, "What in the hell?" And I called him. As soon as I got the guy in an ambulance, I called him. I said, "What in the hell? Why didn't you stop?" "Well, I didn't want to be late for work." Really? This is your damn job.
This is the problem with society, people, right here. I didn't want to be late for work, but that is my job.
Yeah, and thank God the guy didn't need a tourniquet. I mean, I had direct pressure on the. I could see his skull through where his hairline should have been, and he was balding. It didn't scalp him, but he was cut probably about 10 inches across the top of his forehead, and I could see his skull all the way across it. And getting that to stop bleeding that much, that long of a cut across that part of the head, the face, it bleeds like a stuck pig. And it's just flowing down.
Bad eyebrows, anything like that, it'll gush like a son of a bitch.
His whole face was covered in blood.
Yeah.
And and then once I got it stopped, I started wiping his face off. And by that time, then finally I didn't have to call. I hollered somebody to call for somebody already had. And by the time I got there, all they had to do was load him up and take him off.
I'm glad you stopped. I think that's kind of like Scotsman said, it's kind of the problem. And, that's where it comes in handy to know some shit. Even if it's for you and yours, it could be beneficial. We probably all had a moment or two in life where we were standing there seeing something, and then you're like, "Oh, shit." And you look left, you look right, like, "Oh, nobody's going to step up. God damn it." And, you just got to jump in and do what you got to do. Yeah. And sometimes you're the only one. And consciously, it's kind of hard to walk by sometimes when you could have done something.
You also got to know when to not step into. And so what I mean by that is So for a prime example is the company I work for now. Years ago when I first started with it, I didn't know that this particular gal had epilepsy, and I'd been there probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 months, something like that. And went into work one night. We were all working, and we started work. I don't know, maybe half hour, 45 minutes into the shift or whatever. And this gal just hit the deck, and a couple people rush over and try to grab her and pick her up. And I see what she's doing. Like, she's flailing all over. And I fucking just yell, leave her the fuck alone. Get away. And everyone kind of just stops and looks at me. And I'm like, don't fucking touch her. You're going to make it worse. Leave her the fuck alone. And thankfully I did, because if otherwise it would have caused a lot more problems. You got to know when to actually go and act and when not to act. And if someone like that who has problems like that, the only thing you can do is put them in a certain position that's going to help them. But depending on how much they're moving around, you may not be able to. So you have to stay away, because you're going to end up either getting yourself hurt or making the situation worse.
The only thing you can do is try to make it where they can't bang their head into a concrete floor, or
bang their head, or twist the wrong way, bite their tongue, but you got to be careful, because if you get in there and you start doing something and they move the wrong way, you can get injured, or, you got to be really, really careful with it, because people are trying to stick something in their fucking mouth. And
you're always going to hear somebody in that crowd say, you need something to hold her tongue down. She'll swallow her tongue. I'm like,
and that was exactly what I was yelling. Trying to fucking do that, and it's like, no, stop, walk the fuck away, get the fuck away.
I've had people say, people still to this day have that myth in their head that somebody can swallow their tongue. And, it's like, not unless the mafia gets them and, does a necktie on them, they're not going to swallow their tongue.
All right. So we have a better topic here. So thank you, Rob. We're being kind of Debbie Downers, I guess. And so Rob came up with a good topic. What would let's see, what did he say? What would Jesus carry? Well, I'm going to tell you straight up what God's caliber is. God's caliber is 44 Magnum, baby. Jesus carries a 44 Magnum, and he carries it in a shoulder holster, and he says, baby, this will blow your head clean off.
Well, is that blue steel? Is it polished? I mean, are we talking?
That's blue steel.
6-inch barrel. What?
That's blue steel, 6-inch barrel, wood grips.
What about a backup? Does he carry a backup?
He don't need a backup. He's Jesus.
Yeah, but it's coordination. It looks good. It makes him feel good.
It's a 44 Magnum, dude. You don't need a backup.
I think he just goes like this, and your life's over. He doesn't need a Legion of Angels. He doesn't need a Smith & Wesson or
you whip out that nice piece of blue steel with the wood grips and a 6-inch barrel, and you stick that at someone. Most people just fucking stop in their tracks. They don't really do anything else.
What about like a gold Desert Eagle or something?
Oh, fuck
no.
He wouldn't be caught dead.
No?
Wouldn't be caught dead with that.
No.
44 Magnum all the way, baby.
What about you, Bama Dad?
Probably a white 10 millimeter.
White 10 classic. Ivory handles or something. I mean, he made them. He could use ivory.
Just solid white and gold trigger. But I don't know. That's a.
What
I'm not
about the
positive.
other guy here?
Now, if you'd ask what Santa Claus is carrying, that's a whole different subject.
Oh, Santa Claus is carrying a 50 BMG.
Santa Claus has got dual 44s on his hips.
He's carrying a
What's
50
the
BMG, man. He ain't fucking around.
what's
He reaches
garage
that
guy's take on?
two of them.
Yeah, when Santa Claus goes through Detroit, yeah, he needs something heavy, man. So yeah, 44 mag. He hits Detroit or Chicago, he's going to need it.
Either that or a Smith and Wesson 500. It's
What
gonna be
type of rifles are they gonna have then?
Ooh,
Probably gonna be either a 50 BMG or a 338 Lapua. I'm thinking 338 Lapua, man.
A lot to carry, you know. He might be
He's
a little
Santa Claus,
inconvenient.
Jesus, what the fuck, dude?
I can see him with two of those rifles like the rifleman carried.
That's like saying Arnie and fucking Commando. Oh, that's a lot for him to carry, dude. It's fucking Arnie.
I'm not saying he can't carry. I'm just saying, you know, he's making babies, saving, you know, lives and doing
He's
stuff.
saving
You know,
lives.
he
He's saving
needs
lives.
a hand.
He's saving lives with 338 Lapuas, one under each arm.
Oh, I think Santa's probably got two of those mini guns that have the General Electric motors on them. He just reaches up and
134s.
I don't know what they are. All I know is they're bad. Those chain guns.
Darzak says he counted on Jesus being passive. He counted wrong. Did he count 5 or did he count 6? To be honest, in all this excitement, I forgot.
So you couldn't picture Jesus running around like the old Dirty Harry.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Come on, man.
You know, it'd be like so. I don't know, cliche, I guess. You know, I bring you in, I can take you out. Yeah,
Dude, he would
I don't
have
know. Probably make a good
he
series.
would have the best fucking lines. He would make Arnie. He'd make Arnie look like a fucking amateur.
Well, yeah, I mean you're talking about a guy that spoke everything into existence. The thought of a gun, and he already knows the hearts and the intentions of every person that's there. So you're not going to ever clear your holster with anything in his presence.
What if he was like, let's handle this man to man? No guns, no tricks. I won't snap my fingers and turn you into a frog. Take it outside, big guy.
I don't know.
I mean, you don't think he knows how to fucking go toe to toe? Come on. I mean, you talk about fucking bare knuckle boxing. Jesus, the guy fucking invented that shit.
Yeah, except he took all the punches.
So what gun does Mrs. Claus carry?
She's carrying a 454 Casull.
Mrs. Claus is a cowgirl.
Badass bitch. That's why.
Big bones.
Well, you can't make all them cookies for Santa Claus all year long and not eat a few.
Yeah, she's carrying a 454 Casull as a primary, and as a rifle, I don't know what would she have as a rifle. I'm thinking she'd be kind of like an oddball caliber,
45-70 or something like that.
No. I'm thinking more like an oddball kind of
Like a Sharps.
old school military caliber, you know. Like an old 8mm Mauser or something like that. off the wall kind of cartridge for her. She's like a backyard sniper, dude. She's not one you'd expect to be a sniper, but she's gonna be a backyard sniper.
Is it gonna have any Christmas colors to it? Gonna match her nails or anything like that, or?
She ain't no bitch. She's carrying a fucking 454 Casull. She's not gonna paint her fucking nails.
I don't know. All these gun bunnies do.
I would think Santa's wife would be kind of traditional, She'd probably have the whole candy cane nails going on. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. If I was Santa, and there ain't no way in hell I would be, but if I was Santa, Mrs. Claus would not be fucking painting her fucking nails. She'd be carrying some big bore fucking revolver. Be a badass motherfucker.
Whoa! You said you wouldn't be Santa? Why the hell not? You work one day a year, man. Like one day a year, bro.
No,
every kid in the world loves your ass. Well, not everywhere in the world, but
you work every fucking day of the year up to that one.
No, that's what the elves do, bro. You go play golf, you're hanging out, you're doing your thing. You're going around checking out the toy fairs, checking the list,
Somebody's got to manage them little peckerheads.
Checking the list, that's work, man.
Yeah.
I wonder if Santa Claus collects unemployment the rest of the year.
He's taking tax advantages, man.
Hey, look at it, free travel.
He's playing.
You can go, no problems. That's a good gig, man.
He's playing the system. You know what? Actually, he's playing the system. I would be Santa Claus. I can go play the system.
Free cookies. Come on now. It's a lot of damn free cookies.
That's not me, man. I would never do that kind of shit. Not me.
Well, if you ask me what I want for Christmas, I just want to see a bunch of Somalis headed back to Somalia.
I only want one. Oh wait, she is.
I want all of them gone.
Oh, they can all fucking disappear, but that bitch is the first one on the line.
Well, they've got her. They're going for her. She's facing deportation now. So she messed around and said something. She ran her mouth about Tom Holan just one time too many, and he's called in the lead investigator for the Department of Justice. And they're going after her. All I got to find is one crime she committed.
Well,
and we all know
she married a fucking brother to become a citizen.
She's on her way out.
But
yeah, you don't mess around with that Tom Holman guy. I like him.
I do too. He's just straight up in your face.
Yeah.
If you're here legally, and if you're legal and you're here helping them, we're gonna get you too. The all these people say they're even getting American citizens, and they're throwing them in jail. Yep. Well, when you go after somebody and you're serving court documents for deportation, and you find out they're selling crack, and you bust that one in there, the one American that's in there with them, of course, yeah, you go into jail. That's what's got me, is the whole premise of why should we stand up for what's right? Why should we stand up for what's legal? And that's become all you hear. Like, they're throwing people in jail. They're sending them to Salvadorian death camps. I don't care. I could care less.
Go
ahead.
Have any of you seen these documentaries about those prisons down there in El Salvador they built? 80 people in one big room, and they are strict on them. That new president, that new president they got down there in El Salvador, he's cut crime way down. The place used to be just a shithole. Now he's pretty well got things under control. I think he's only like about 35 years old.
Yeah. And he looks at it like, hey, we'll build the prisons. You send them. That's income for us.
Yeah.
We're paying for them to be in those prisons. So, who cares? I'd rather pay what little it costs to keep them in a Salvadorian prison camp than to keep them here and let them live off tax dollars of Americans and swindle money and send back to Somalia.
And that's the problem. You hear every single day how the system is being played and how many dead people and people on Social Security that don't exist and all the rest of it are claiming money left, right, and fucking center. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then all the illegals. Dude, that one pisses me off more than anything. Is all the fucking illegals that keep coming in. They go to New York, California, and here's a driver's license. Here's a commercial driver's license. And go do whatever the fuck you want to do, and blah 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 blah.
The thing that gets me is when they go into one of these housing tenements and they start arresting these people, the streets fill up with these migrants that are screaming and hollering at the ICE agents and the police, and they should have cleared them out first. I just go ahead. First one of them that stepped in the road when I was trying to arrest somebody, they'd be going too. And that right there, they're interfering with an investigation. They're interfering with, processing court documents. That's breaking the law right there. So that's reason to get them too. I don't understand it.
Well,
get them out of here. Get them gone.
Part of the problem is a lot of times is these people wait for the media to show up on purpose.
Sure they do.
And as soon as the media show up, then they run in. And now it's all on camera. They're abusing us because we're protesting. We're being peaceful protest. No, you're not being peaceful. You fucking ran in there. That's not peaceful when you're fucking running in there and causing trouble.
Well, it's the same thing. You go to a third world country and anything starts happening, it's no different than you see it here. They're all sitting there taking videos of everything. And I'm like, you guys can't even afford to eat. How in the hell have you got a cell phone? Well, when you find out that, Apple's charging what, $1,700 for the newest iPhone Pro Max, and you go to Africa, that you can buy that same phone for under $200.
Dude, it costs $1 to fucking make.
Yeah.
You're paying $1,700 for what?
So that they can subsidize selling all over the world.
So people think you're cool.
We're subsidizing
it. People don't understand. It's all about keeping you in debt. It's all about keeping you poor. People have to wake up and realize that's what it's about. It's about keeping you in debt and keeping you poor. All this shit is designed in a certain way.
Do you remember when a cell phone company, you just automatically would get a free phone every time a new one came out? And they did that to keep you as a customer.
But it's not free because they rope it into the fucking price of your plan every month.
No, I'm talking about back when cell phones first became widely available.
Yeah, sign up, get a free phone,
And then once you had been with them a year or two and you were out of your contract deal with them, the first thing they'd just say, hey, if you'll stay, we'll give you another free set. We'll give you the latest, greatest Motorola Razr or whatever that was at the time. And people would jump on, people would get it. Of course, they were obligating themselves to stay for another 2 years, but it kept them on as customers. Now you get nothing and Apple's turning around and kicking back money to these cell phone companies for getting your dumb butt to go in there and buy the next $1,700, $1,800 phone.
Yep.
On top of that, they got to the point now where even if you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, they've already come out and said they're going to make your phone run slower, and on purpose.
Well, they
Hoping you'll
do
come to
that.
buy a new phone. So
They've been doing that for so
years.
many years.
Yeah. So now they're going to disrupt what
anytime
you
your
paid
phone
for.
doesn't update, it fucks your shit up on purpose.
Yeah. They're disrupting the property you paid for that's been working fine, working at this level. They're going to knock it down a level just because they feel like it. Yeah. That's crazy.
I think it was 4 years ago. Yeah, about 4 years ago. I went to Iowa and was hanging out with Alan, Tack, Brandon, and all the rest of them. And I forget what Samsung I had, but I had a Samsung phone. I was with T-Mobile at the time. And I was getting ready to leave. I had one more day before I had to leave. And my phone decided it wanted to do an update. That update put my phone on permanent airplane mode, and it wouldn't come off of airplane mode. And so I went to 3 different fucking stores before I finally got to one, and the guy was trying to joke around with me, and I looked him straight in the face. And any of you guys who know me know when I'm not fucking around. Like when I'm pissed, I'm fucking pissed. And I told this guy straight up, I'm like, dude, I'm not in the fucking joking mood. And these guys stopped and like, what? I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking around. And his whole attitude changed when I said that to him. But he's like, what's going on? I'm like, my phone did a fucking update. I've literally lost everything. It won't come out of fucking airplane mode. And he goes, well, it's a known issue. I'm like, what do you mean it's a known issue? He's like, it's a known issue. I'm like, so you're going to replace my phone, right? He's like, no, you have to buy a new one. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean I have to buy a new one? If it's a known fucking issue that the company issued, they did the fucking update. So why the fuck do I have to buy a new one? Oh, it is what it is. You have to buy a new phone. No, it's not. It is what it is. Like, what the fuck? I own the fucking thing. I paid for it. They did the update. I shouldn't be responsible for their fuck up.
No.
And at the end of it all, it ended up, bullshit of me having to pay more fucking money out so I could get home. I couldn't get home without it.
I just tell him, I said, roll that update out and put it back on its base OS. And
they wouldn't, they couldn't do anything with it, dude. Like literally the phone was fucked. I tried going back and doing all kinds of stuff. There was nothing, man. It literally fucked my phone. I lost all my contacts. I lost everything. I had people texting me a year or two later, and I'm like, I'm sorry, who are you? Because I don't know you. Like, literally lost all my contacts fucking 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't know you. I'm just saying I don't know who this is because.
Right, and that's what I was saying. Like, I literally lost all my contacts, so I don't know who this is. These companies literally fuck you on purpose. That's the thing of it.
Yeah.
They're coming out and saying it's a known issue, but they won't take care of it. Yeah, that's a problem.
If it's a known issue, it should be covered because you did it. You pushed out the update to my phone.
Right. It's a known issue. It shouldn't be a known issue. It shouldn't be a non-issue. It should be, okay, here's a new phone for you. But yeah.
Well, and they don't care anymore.
No, they don't care, man. And it pissed me off because the day beforehand, I had someone that I had met years ago reach back out to me, and I was glad they did. And I hadn't talked to him in a long time. And we were talking again, and then bam, I lost that number too, and I haven't talked to him since. So I'm kind of fucking pissed about that.
Well, you know, sometimes the thing that gets me is they'll push out an update like to the iPhone, and it turns off. Sometimes the updates will turn off your sync to the cloud setting, and so anything that you've added within a certain amount of time, you lose it because it's not backed up on the cloud. You know, normally with an iPhone, you just get a new one and you sign into your Apple account and it just loads your phone with all your contacts, all your apps and everything. But if they've pushed the wrong button in the update, then it screws everything up on your phone.
To add to it, you know, what are these cars going to be like in 4 or 5 years?
What are they like now?
Yeah, when you got to get an update, you're out of warranty and this and that. Everything's subscription now. Yeah, you bought all the stuff. You bought the heated seats. You bought the ability Bluetooth and all this. But if you want to use it, it has auto start. But if you want to use it, they're all becoming. They're loaded up with this same software shit.
A lot of times is you bought it, but they still own the rights to it.
Yeah, it's nuts. But now they're kicking shit out. I mean, I don't know if the whole thing with Trump there on the houses and whatnot, we're kicking the mortgages out. Now auto loans are getting kicked out. Like, making more payments reduces the cost of your payment, but it doesn't make the item cheaper. That doesn't address the main problem. You're actually making that person poorer.
You're making it worse. You're making it worse. Yeah. They're talking about like fucking, what is it, 8-year loans or 10-year loans?
Yeah, 96 months now. Technically the car from the manufacturer is expected to be in the junkyard before you even paid it off. And forget about negative equity halfway through. Like, that's the stupidest thing you could do right now. You're literally a moron.
You're taking the payment down, but your interest rate, the amount of interest you're going to end up paying over the time you keep paying that is ridiculous.
Yeah, and everybody's addicted to credit, and they got to have that new car to get to work, or they needed it to get to school, blah, blah, blah. Dude, they're all becoming slaves. Sorry, people. I tried to kick this up with more positive topics, but it didn't work. And if we're going all in, we're going all in. Let me tell you, man, because they're getting fucking crazy.
There's a guy I work with, and it cracks me up. All right, so I've always told you guys, I drive everywhere, right? I hate fucking flying. I drive everywhere. So I typically do a lot of fucking miles on my truck, right? So this guy that I work with, he got a new truck 3 years ago, and he leased it. And I think it was about 6 months ago, he comes to me and says something about how he's getting ready to potentially purchase it because he went over the miles and this, that, the other, and all the rest of it. So he bought some wheels and tires for me a year ago that I had got for my truck at the time. That I wasn't using because of the accident. I had to get a different truck and all the rest of it. So I sold them to him because he had the same kind of truck I had. So he was talking to me about this, and it came up this past week again. And he's like, "Yeah, man, they really screwed me over on this because I went way over my mileage." And I'm like, "Well, what the hell is your mileage?" And he's like, "Oh, it was like 30,000 miles or something like that." And I'm like, "How many fucking miles you put on the truck?" He's like, 150. I'm like, 150,000 fucking miles in 3 years. I'm like, dude, I drive a fucking shitload, but that's a fucking buttload. Like, holy hell, man.
Do you ever go home?
And dude, seriously. I'm like, what the fuck's your payment? And he told me his payment. And I'm like, I'm not surprised, man. Like, you went way the fuck over the mileage, like way over.
So he's on a lease?
He was on a lease. Now he's buying it.
Yeah, be
Yeah,
practical.
he blew that lease, so he had to buy it.
He had to buy it, and he had to get a co-signer because he went so fucking far over it that his credit wasn't even good enough to buy it.
I'm willing to bet it's not even worth right now what he owes on it.
Oh no, not even close. I guarantee you, not even close. I mean,
Negative equity. Now they're going to let you roll that over to the next vehicle.
don't get me wrong.
It just played forever.
Toyotas hold their value, but he's already got 150 in 3 years. That ain't holding shit.
No, that truck's not worth a whole lot of money.
They become so expensive, like people would say it's an investment. Like auto is the worst investment you can get into, basically. It instantly loses money. If you were really trying to make money, you'd buy new used and sell them within a year or two with no mileage at a inflated price on vehicles that are wanted. But anyway,
I've always tried to explain to people, and it's kind of like guns too. And it's kind of the same thing. As soon as you drive it off the lot, or as soon as you hit that gun out in the parking lot, you've lost 10%. Yeah. As soon as you get it home, you've probably lost 15, 20%.
Yeah, legally, it don't even have to be driven off the parking lot. It's just got to be registered to you. It's got to be sold.
Right. I'm just
sold, and it's on paper that there's an owner. It's instantly worth less money.
Right. I'm just making an example, but kind of, you're instantly losing 10, 15, 20% right off the rip.
Yeah, there's no real deals that work out in somebody's favor these days.
I don't know. People got to get over their pride, I think. Start sticking with older vehicles, which they're starting to, because statistically, the average vehicle on the road is 16 years old, which is higher than it's been on average in I don't know how long. But, people got to just not buy them. Like, don't be an idiot and volunteer to pay $150,000 for a $70,000 truck that's going to be shit before you even pay it off. Like, it's a bad idea. You don't have to be a genius. It's basic math. If you can't do the math, you shouldn't have a freaking license,
Well, and this is my thing. First off, a truck shouldn't cost $60,000, $70,000 or even more. A truck shouldn't. It just shouldn't. It's fucking stupid.
You can go over 100.
So that's my first thing with that. My next thing with that is everyone's got to have all this newfangled fucking tech in their car. Why? Mm-hmm. You're fucking driving, you fucking idiot.
Well, it's to impress people. They want to feel with the time. That's all it is.
Go buy a fucking manual truck, learn how to fucking drive it, and drive.
Ego slaves. I think that's it right there. I think I just nailed my new term.
Pull the stick and putting it in drive is not fucking driving. That's bullshit. I've never been a fan of autos. I fucking hate them. I've had two. I think I've had two.
Preference, Scotsman. That's preference. I like sticks too, but as a whole, that's not the problem with the prices and people paying 3 times as much as they should.
It's not just preference. It's not driving, man. Driving is you're actually engaged in what you're doing. You're paying more attention. If you actually have to control your shifting and you have to control your braking and all of that as you're doing it, now you're driving. If you just have to fucking pull a lever and put it in fucking drive and go, you're really not.
I get it. I get it. I grew up. First thing I drove was a stick.
To what you're doing.
I get it. But most people aren't drivers. Most people are just rocking the kids. They got their mom car. They want the bells and whistles. They don't want to think about shit. They like anti-lock brakes. They like all the mirrors blinking and bells going off every time anything happens and the wheel jerking out of your hand and all that shit. They like it. The masses like it. I don't like it. You don't like it. But the masses do, and that's who they make cars for. So we got to change get them to wake up. All this shit that breaks down, all these brand new cars that are less reliable than our older cars. Brand new cars.
Let me ask you a question.
Stop buying them. They'll stop making them.
let me ask you a question, and I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this. But have you driven one without power steering?
Several. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of figured you have. I would love for it to go back to no fucking power steering, because that's when people were actually fucking driving. You got to be engaged in what the car is doing. You got to pay attention to what's fucking going on. All this additional shit they put in there, power steering, ABS, and all this other bullshit, it took driving out of the equation. Now you're just sitting there and holding onto the fucking wheel. That ain't driving.
Well, have you ever had power steering and say like a truck with big ass tires on it and try to get around a little parking lot,
Yeah.
without power steering? Because that's where you turn into Popeye. Like
Dude,
that slow
I've
shit. The
I've-
soccer mom probably isn't doing that.
I've-
You or
I've-
me, we can struggle with that because we know as soon as we get over 15, it rides fine. But making those little turns in the parking lot. You can say all you want, but goddamn, you're He-Man in that shit.
You are He-Man in that shit, but that's driving, man. That's fucking driving.
A little economy car, not that big of a deal. But the heavier the truck, bigger the tires, bigger footprint,
That's
the harder it is.
driving. That's not just
But,
fucking slamming.
once you're
driving.
going,
No,
fine.
that's actual fucking driving. That's the point. I know.
But again, the little soccer mom doesn't want to fight the steering wheel with all her weight just to get into the parking spot. She doesn't, man.
No, because you can't have that cell phone in the other hand.
Right, and it doesn't look good on Instagram.
And the Starbucks in the other hand. And you wonder what she's driving with.
All right, let's get a better subject if we're gonna stay on here any longer, because this one's just starting to piss me off now.
All right, China's banning filters, beauty filters. Now their excuse is they're doing it because there's so many goddamn fraud cases with beauty products. People say it works and they just threw a filter on, all this type of shit, whatever. That's what they're saying. But supposedly America has studied this now because we're watching the Chinese, of course, and they're considering doing the same here. And they're stating America's reason would be because it's creating psychological damage. Basically, people are looking at people that aren't real.
Simple. I'm gonna make this
fucking the psychology up.
I'm gonna make this simple. I'm gonna take all the psychology out of it. I'm gonna make it fucking simple. If you're butt ass fucking ugly, you're butt ass fucking ugly. Quit trying to fucking hide it. Done.
Yeah, I'm down with just keep it straight. I don't know.
That's it, man. If you're butt ass fucking ugly, you're butt ass fucking ugly.
Yeah,
fucking hide it. Period.
But apparently, psychologically, it's becoming an issue because all the filters.
It's a psychological problem for me when you're trying to pretend you're something that you're fucking not.
Yeah. Well, I'm not out meeting girls on dates, but I tell you, I'd be pissed off. You walk in and you don't even recognize the chick you've been talking to. That's the problem.
If you send me a picture and you're fucking, this 5'4" brunette, long hair, down her ass crack, whatever, and nice perky fucking titties, whatever, and then you actually show up and you weigh fucking 250, 260, whatever, and no, that's not fucking happening. Like, get the fuck out of here. No,
I want my gas money back. God damn it.
Like, no, I didn't sign up for this shit.
Lulu. You got a problem.
So you guys would be all right with them saying no filters or whatever? I guess somebody might be doing it here for kids. I think they can't use a couple filters already.
All of that crap all needs to fucking disappear. All the AI bullshit needs to fucking disappear. It's not gonna, because AI is so much fucking money invested. But
yeah, I'm with you though. I'm with you.
It's absolute bullshit.
I call it false advertisement. Yeah.
It is false advertisement. Again, she's telling me she's 5'4", fucking brunette, hair down her ass crack, fucking nice big perky fucking titties, whatever. And she shows up and she's fucking 250. Yeah, no, that's not what I signed up for.
looking like the Wicked Witch and shit, you know?
You
Like,
know?
wait a minute here.
It's like me going to a gun show. Okay, I'm gonna go. I go to a gun show and someone's saying they got a 29-1, the fucking primo of 29s, and I show up and it's a 29-fucking 10 because they mismarked it. I'm not gonna be happy. I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Yep. Yeah, well, I got a poll running on that very question just to see. Before the show, it was what was it, like 5% or 5% or something was said out of like 75 people that they're fine with it. It's interesting, keeps it interesting.
It's
Another
not
46%, I think it said they don't care either way. And then, you know, unfortunately, my side of things were, yeah, it's false advertisement, in some cases fraud. That's on the lower half of like with 49%.
It kind of goes back to the whole thing of what the hell is it called? Fish. You know what I'm talking about.
Catfish?
Catfish. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would
goes
throw
back to
out.
you being fucking catfish.
Yeah, I throw out the idea. I mean, I don't know. I don't. You know, I'm not a girl. I'm not into that shit or whatever. I'm not one of them vanity YouTubers, I guess, whatever. But I would assume it could probably be a problem with guys too, where they could
It is.
make themselves look younger while they're talking to people.
That's why I
Yeah,
brought up the whole catfish
like
thing.
it could be a lot of weird
it,
shit going on.
it's not just women that catfish. Men catfish too, and it's a problem, dude. It's a major problem, and you know when you look at all the issues we have going on around the country, and not just the country, but the entire world. But you know, if you want to focus just here, for example, you look at all the kind of issues we got going on. We got enough fucking problems with kids having mental issues as it is, and being fucked up in the head because of fucking all these other people telling them that they're not this or not that, and they need to be this and they need to be that.
But it's like the Barbie thing. Years ago, they were bitching that Barbie's not realistic. If that was a real person, the portions would look like an alien.
You're only
people were comparing themselves to that. Now every little girl's got beauty filters on her phone. Well, and apparently they came out with a new clinical term for people that are going in to get plastic surgery to look like their filter.
Well, and this is the problem. You're only adding fuel to the fire. And then you go and you look at things like all these injections that they keep giving people to lose weight, which, by the way, if any of you people out there are thinking about taking one of these, please do not. They're fucking bad as hell for you. They're going to give you all kinds of fucking shit, cancer, the whole fucking 9 yards. Don't fucking take them. Stay the fuck away, please, for the love of God. Stay the fuck away from these fucking injections. I know people that are on them, and it's insane how much.
Yep.
It's insane how much weight they've lost, but it's not healthy. It's not. I'm telling you straight up, it's not fucking healthy. You want to lose weight, you have problems, whatever, reach out to me. I'll help you lose weight, and I'll help you do it the healthy way. Trust me, I know how. I've been in fitness my entire life. I can help you lose weight if you got a problem with weight. Taking these fucking injections is not the way to do it.
Well, people, when it comes to shit, when it comes to shit like that, people like the easy way. They like the pill.
They do.
The problem with shit like that is, if you want to do it, you truly got to be serious. It's like, you know, learning a new skill, like you were saying earlier with books. If you have an interest, you dive into it. But you really got to, you know, I don't know, put some time in there, I guess. You can't just.
It's talking to learn skills and stuff. So. Not again. I'm not really someone that brags or boasts about what I do or any kind of that stuff, but I'm an old school kind of guy. I make all my own shit around the house. You know, I can take a fucking piece of lumber and build it into anything. And my landlord came over about a week or so ago, walked in and was like, "Oh shit, what's that?" you know, and I built a whole nother thing for storing ammo and doing this and all the rest of it. And he's like, "Oh man, that's all done by hand." I'm like, "Yeah, dude. You know, I learned this shit when I was a kid. Take the time to learn how to do stuff, man. It's not hard, and you're gonna have a sense of pride when you do that stuff. That feeling you get by doing it by yourself on your own, having the skill to do that shit, is something that no one's ever gonna give you. That's something you have to give yourself. You go out and you fucking learn it and do it. You know, I got problems around the house. I fix them. You know, I've had shitty fucking ceilings. I fixed the fucking ceilings. I've had shitty fucking doors. I fixed the fucking doors. When I first came to this country, I had zero. I only had about $150 to my name when I got here. And I only knew two people. One that I was staying with when I first got here, and then I met someone else through them. And because of them, I was able to start doing some side work. And I was only able to do side work because I know how to work with wood and do construction. If I didn't go and learn those skills, I would not be here today. I had to have those skills to be here. I literally went and built fences. I installed doors. I installed windows. I painted houses. I did whatever the fuck I had to do to make money to pay for my paperwork.
Because he had a sugar mama. The first wood he was working with didn't come from the hardware store.
I'm not pretty enough for a sugar mama. I didn't use the filter.
I heard the landlord story showing up with bottles of liquor for you and shit. And, oh yeah.
I don't use filters, man. I'm not that pretty.
Now you know what. Now you know the real reason he wears a kilt.
Yeah, always on the first of the month too. Yeah.
Hey, if I had a landlord that was pretty, trust me, I'd be banging the shit out of her. But unfortunately, my landlord is not a girl.
So you ain't getting no discount on rent.
No. If I had a nice, pretty one, trust me, I'd be taking care of that. But yeah, no.
Well, you got to advertise. Go on Facebook.
I don't do fucking social media, man. This is all I do as far as social shit.
Hey, get on Facebook. They're going to deport me, and you'll get some.
No, you know what's gonna happen. You know what'll fucking happen if I do some dumb shit like that? They're gonna show up at my fucking door and harass me, dude.
No, man. You're gonna come on next week and be like, this bitch was trying to fuck us, but guess what? I fucked her instead. Ha!
No. I'm not playing that game. I'm good.
You better be, because the YouTube auditor just took your name down.
The YouTube auditor can go fuck himself. They fucked me so many times I don't even care.
Well, they're going to keep pushing on YouTube.
To say I'm YouTube's bitch is just, whatever. The YouTube's fucked me so hard. I can't even fucking argue anymore.
Rumble's got its leader back now. They'll be ready to come back and take over. Since Bongino retired he left his job with the FBI. So
I don't trust that motherfucker one bit. He talked a huge fucking game before he went in there. He bent over like a little fucking bitch and fell into the system. And now he's coming back out of it and hoping everyone's going to jump back on the bandwagon with him. He's going to talk the same fucking shit he talked prior. I'm not buying it. I'm not doing it.
Well, he made a lot of promises he didn't keep. So
that's what I'm saying. He was a little bitch. He fucking walked in there with a big game and walked out bending over the fucking knee. He didn't do what he said he was going to do. He was a little bitch.
The only one that seems to be standing up out of the whole bunch to me is Hegseth. He's He's been in your face with everybody that's come against him since he's been in there.
I don't
The
know.
biggest shock to me was Marjorie Taylor Greene just bailing.
It's all one big fucking show, man, and
It is. It really is. They're politics.
I'm just sitting on the sidelines waiting for the punchline of what's coming.
There's going to be a huge damn revolt. Well, there may not be, but there better be.
Yeah, it's just sitting on the sidelines waiting for the punchline of what's going to happen, and you better be ready and make sure you got lots of ammo and know what the fuck you're doing. That's all I got to say.
Well, it's when you hear ex-team guys and you hear ex-CIA guys talking about where they're going to go before it gets bad. So they're already making plans to exit the U.S.
All the elites, all the top rich people, they all got bunkers. Zuckerberg, all them shit. They all got them.
You know, we were trying to do a fucking Christmas
positive show, yeah. And you guys
have
can
to
bring it
fucking
down.
on and all the rest of it, and all you fucking guys keep doing is fucking doing downer fucking conversations, bringing the fucking shit down. I thought Rob was gonna bring it up because his drunk ass was in the side chat fucking like 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, whatever the fuck it was. Hey, I've been drinking this, drinking that. I'm like, oh fuck, yeah, he's gonna jump in lively. No, he's fucking big Debbie fucking Downer.
Hey, she stopped feeding me drinks. I don't know. I ended up drinking a cup of coffee. Well, actually, probably not. I was going to say I could drive, but I don't know about legally. So
Bama dad was texting me earlier. I'm like, oh, cool. He's going to show up. He's going to bring, he's going to be lively, have some fun with us and shit. No, he's fucking Debbie Downer too.
I'm just going with the flow, man. I'm sitting here listening.
It's like, motherfucker.
Well, I just about decided I was going to buy a Shadow Systems pistol, and I looked at the price of them, and I said, there ain't no way I'm paying that.
Okay, I don't understand how anyone can justify that. It's a Gucci fucking bullshit Glock, which Glock ain't even fucking Gucci anyway, and then the Glock's way over fucking priced as it is. It should be fucking $300 pistol, but it's fucking not.
No, I'm talking about the.
I know you're talking about Shadow Systems. What I'm saying is Shadow System is fucking Gucci, is basically a Gucci Glock, but they're already fucking way overpriced. And why would you pay that kind of money for that? Just like why would you pay the kind of money for a fucking Glock? Because Glock's fucking way overpriced too.
Glocks are not really overpriced.
They're not overpriced. $700 for a fucking Glock.
I've never paid $700 for one.
Brand new, they're $600 to $700, dude. They're fucking overpriced.
Well, the last one I bought was a 19 about 2.5 years ago, and it wasn't, but it was like $600.
That's overpriced. It's a fucking Glock. It's overpriced. They should be $300, dude.
Now.
They're fucking overpriced pieces of shit.
Mine's never failed to fire.
That's what I hear from everyone who loves Glock. It's never failed. It's never.
I'm not a Glock lover.
Yeah, I've had people come out and shoot with me and Daniel, multiple people, and they're all proud of their fucking Glocks. They show up, we go to fucking shoot, and their Glock fails every fucking time. Every fucking time.
That's because they've had their dick skinners in it.
I'm just telling you straight up, dude. They fucking failed every time, and they sit there. Oh, my Glock. They talk a big fucking game. We get up there and fucking shoot. My CZ runs like a fucking champ. Daniels runs like a fucking champ. We take the fucking Glock and bam, bam, bam. Oh wait, what? Oh what? It didn't. And they go, oh, you're limp wristing. Get the fuck out of here. I shoot a hammer-fired pistol. I ain't limp wristing your fucking piece of shit, fucking striker fire.
If you've got a Glock fire, somebody's been monkeying with it.
Yeah,
No, I'm
I
talking.
agree with Ben with that. I'm not a Glock guy. Everybody knows that, but I have owned a Glock, and I honestly never had a problem with it. I could hit with it. I just don't. I think it's ugly.
It is
Yeah, it
it is
is. I
not
just
pretty.
right. So I just chose. I didn't have to have it. I chose something different. There's nothing wrong with that, whatever. But I will say, unlike Scotsman, I don't know. Glocks tend to run high points run, but they're both ugly.
They're ugly as shit.
I just there's other options out there, but there's nothing wrong with having a Glock. Glock's a basic bottom line, it's a baseline in my opinion. But to Scotsman's point, they're overpriced. The old man Glock himself said it should be around 250 back when it came out. So now 350, 350.
That's one of my biggest. I have two big issues with Glock. My two big issues with Glock is number one, they're overpriced, and number two, they never
from day one. From day one, they were overpriced. So that's what I don't necessarily like about it.
And they never listen to the customer. That's my two big issues. And everyone all go, "You're just a hater. You're a hater." No, I'm not a hater.
Well, you sound like a hater, bro. You sound like a hater.
I don't like that they don't fucking do their job. They don't listen to what the customer wants, and they're fucking overpriced.
Yeah. Well, I'm almost a hater. I'm with you. I said, Glock's like the last chick at the bar. She'll get it done, but I wouldn't brag.
No, that's like your fucking catfish lady that's fucking 250 pounds with a fucking filter going, "Hey, I'm this fucking beautiful CZ." No, bitch, you ain't. No, you fucking ain't.
But she'll get it done.
You're this giant ass fucking whale, and you're trying to tell me you ain't a giant ass fucking whale.
You just ain't gonna brag about it.
Guy told me, he said, I can explain it to you this way. He says, you can have the high dollar fashion model. He said, but every time you turn around, you're going to be spending money on it. He said, you can buy the fat, ugly girl. And said, one thing you know for sure is every night when you come home, she going to have dinner on the table. And
she'll be happy you came back.
Yeah, exactly.
She will, but you won't be.
She'll be glad to see you when you get there.
You won't be fucking happy you went back.
That's why. Another one I got is Glock's like a cheese pizza. As soon as you get home, you start searching for toppings. Like you should just leave the shit with it. But
what can I add to it?
And see that's my other thing. People don't understand. The Glock owns the market for a reason, and they own the market because they have so many other companies that make aftermarket parts on purpose.
No, you got that backwards.
No, I don't have it backwards.
Yes, you do. One easy way to look at it is this. If you're going to make a part to put on a gun, which one are you going to make it for? The one that sells 2,000 of them?
No, they got bought.
When
Glock, here's the thing. When Glock came out with RLE Army and fucking the Blue program, which was their big thing when they came out with that bullshit, that's when the system was sold. Everything got bought and sold right then and there, and all these magical fucking companies popped up with aftermarket fucking parts. And they popped up, why? Because they were bought and sold for.
Well, I think people were looking for a way to get in there and get some of that money off of those Glock sales.
Some, yes, but 90% were bought and sold. Were already bought and paid for. They were already bought and paid for.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of companies.
The whole thing's hypocritical because the whole Glock thing was Glock perfection. But if it's perfect, you don't need a Gen 2, 3, 4, 3, 5. You don't
need a Gen 3. You don't need
the
a
whole
Gen
thing
4.
just
You don't need a Gen 5. You don't need a Gen 6. And guess what? You don't need a Gen 6 version 5. And you don't need all these aftermarket fucking parts. Why? Because it's perfect. But it ain't fucking perfect, is it? Bitch?
Right. But guys like to tinker with shit. They like gadgets. You got the builders. So, I mean, there's obviously a market for it. It's going to, as a business thing, it makes money, But as he said, when people start dicking around with a factory product, the results can vary.
Yeah, you
So,
see
you
somebody
know,
at the range that's got some doodad hanging off of his Model 19. You're like, what is that? And I look at it like, I don't give a damn. I want my Glock as close to factory as possible, except for the sights. And that's one thing that I'll tell you, there ain't no perfection in Glock sights. There's nothing wrong with the format or the way they're there. The problem is they're plastic. And, you know, put steel sights on it. Of course, now, you know, they get sights from Mepro and people like that. They're coming on them from stock. You know, day one when you buy them. So, but you have to buy the MOS version to get the night sights. And I don't like those night sights. I like, what is it? Who makes big dots?
AmeriGlow.
No, oh shit. Who is it? Scotsman, you know who they are.
I'm
Oh,
drawing a
fuck,
blank
dude, there's a
too.
bunch of them, dude.
It's not a True Glow.
No, the True Glow makes sights.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I got a pair of those.
Glow, you got AmeriGlow, you got dude. There's so many of them now.
Was it like XM or something like that?
XS or XM, something like that.
Yeah,
XS, you got XS sights.
it's probably it. XS Big Dots, I think, was the
XS
big one.
XS. It's XS. That's what I've got on mine. And I did get the raised sight, the raised ones, because I've got a red dot on my everyday carry.
Co-witnesses.
They say it does. You know, truth is,
You can make it work.
I would rather
Hmm.
take a hammer and knock the red dot off if it quit working and just shoot sights.
Yeah, but could you shoot through?
You can. It's difficult for me.
Hmm.
Because
That's
when
okay.
it comes to that,
Nikon, and it doesn't have a big window, and I need to get that piece of crap off my gun and either get a Holosun or somebody else's.
when it comes to dots or any kind of optic on a pistol, and we're talking failures and stuff like that, if you're within, say, 15 yards, 35 feet, you should be able to practice shoot and point shoot and not have to worry about sights.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, the only time I go to the red dot is if I'm out 20 yards.
But that's one thing to practice, because if you're going to have some kind of optic on there, you need to know how to shoot it when there's a failure. So you should be out there practicing and going back different yardages. And I would say, you know, in that 15 yard, 30 feet range, give yourself that kind of option so you have a decent amount of understanding of what your pistol is going to do at that distance.
Yeah, and if you're going to buy a red dot, I'm going to tell you this way, that's not the time to go cheap. Don't buy some off-brand Chinese bull crap. That's what you need right there. Is that a 407 or 507?
407. I did a lot of research before I bought it. It goes on my M&P Shield Plus, and one of the main reasons I bought it, I can change the battery out without having to remove the optic.
Yeah. Got a side door.
Yeah. But I did
quality of glass, but Nikon quit making them. So
let's address something real quick, fellas. We're at 12:08. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers.
Keep 52 minutes for me.
And Merry Christmas to everyone in the fucking side chat.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, he ain't coming to my house anyway, so I ain't worried about it. I quit paying him a long time ago to break into my house.
You know, he's talking about Glocks. I got a really good pistol. I like the Ruger RXM. It's pretty much a Gen 3 Glock clone or patent ran out. And Glock and Magpul got together and put it out. And for under 4 potatoes, man, optic ready, raised sights, and really good grip angle on it. And
I heard it has a lot better grip angle than the Glock does.
Yeah. I've had it maybe about a month and a half now, and I've already got close to 1,000 rounds through it. No problems whatsoever.
Well, that's what you want. Something that you know is dependable. When you pull it, it's going to shoot.
Yeah.
You know, guns, I guess primarily the biggest failure always with a semi-auto is going to be your magazine. Yeah,
Right.
that's the big point of failure. And if you've got a Glock, buy Glock mags. Don't buy aftermarket mags. You know, and it's the same thing. If I was buying Ruger, I'd buy Ruger mags, which are going to be mag pulls.
These come with PMags, and I ain't had no problem with it, but it also takes Glock mags. The Ruger does, so I'm not hurting any there. I've never had any problems with a Glock magazine.
I hadn't either. Now, I will tell you this. I hate to admit it. I did break down, and, you know, Metgar started making Glock mags.
Right.
And I did buy some, and I will tell you this. Don't buy them. On 2 different occasions, I've had the mag drop out while I'm shooting.
Hell, Magpul? Or
No,
Metgar, yeah.
And the reason is Metgar rounded the surfaces where it contacts the magazine ejection button, so it wouldn't eat the ejection button up like the previous metal mags did. I forgot who those were made by.
S15. I think Shield made them.
Yeah, and they were. There's nothing wrong with them. You just need to replace that button with a steel button. And
that's on the 43X and 48.
And the 19th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got the 48, and I left everything original on it. You know, there wasn't no need to change nothing. But
well, you know, they did admit, you know, on their website, you know, they said, hey, Shield did say, we know that it does eat that button up. We recommend swapping that button out.
Oh, yeah.
And, but Metgar rounded everything so it would not eat into that, to the mag release. Right. And the problem is it also doesn't lock in good enough. And I've contacted them. They said they're going to send me 2 more of them. And
so Metgar is really good. And the thing of it is most of your factory magazines are actually made by Metgar, and you just don't know it. But they're actually made by them for a lot of companies. They do it for a lot of companies.
I got some TSOS 1911s that come with Metgar mags. I ain't had a bit of problem with them.
Yeah, they make them for a lot of companies, man.
Yeah.
A lot.
They're OEM for nearly every pistol company out there.
And I've never had a single issue with any of them. I've got them for Berettas. I've got them for CZs. I got them for all kinds, dude. I've never had a single problem.
Well, we're talking about a different animal. You know, they changed their, you know, most people say, hey, I'm making a new pistol, make me a mag, and then they make the pistol around the mag. But this case, they're making a retro magazine for a pistol that's not one that they OEM for.
Well,
Hold on.
they should just stay clear of shit guns, and they'd be good, you know. I'm just telling it how it is, man.
That's opinion. Everybody's got one.
That's just fact, you know. Don't dip your wick where your wick shouldn't go.
This is see the crisp 90-degree angles on the where the ejection button goes on an actual Glock mag. I don't know if that is showing up worth a crap.
How dare you show that on my channel? You dirty son of a bitch.
See how perfectly squared that is?
Yeah.
Perfectly square.
Glock
Get the fuck
perfection.
out of here.
But then you look at the Metgar and everything's rounded.
Right.
Yeah, you can see the difference.
And you can really see it right there. And it'll fall out of the gun. And I'm like, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. And I'm not telling you that maybe somehow I put pressure on it or something, you know, but I don't shoot with my hand anywhere near the ejection button. So I don't know. I'm not quite ready to, you know, to tank them. I'm gonna wait on the next two and see if they do a better job.
Well, every different model, you know, and different manufacturer, you know, you could have different results. I know a lot of people hate Pro Mag. For my Smith & Wesson full size, Pro Mag runs like a champ. You know,
I can't stand
drop.
them.
Yeah, drop them on the ground. I mean, they work. I had one or two where it wouldn't hold open on the last round, but besides that, they ran. All the rest of them ran. I know with those it could be a deal breaker. Obviously, you can swap those out, but I've got a lot of them. You know, because honestly, they're half the price of a Smith & Wesson mag. So,
Yeah.
But mainly it's just for taking it a range and shit like that. I don't carry it with those in there, but they do work. You know, where everybody else is like, fuck Pro Mag, you know, that don't work for shit. Yeah, everybody's got complaints. You know, I'm just saying for that gun, that model, it works fine. You know, so
in my experience, they've been hit and miss.
Yeah,
and you know, I'm glad they're working. I'm glad they work for you, but yeah, they're hit and miss, man.
And if you don't get but one miss with me, and then I rotate you out of my daily carry. You know, I've got to depend on that thing to stay in the gun and not jam up. You know,
like
falling out or anything like that, that could be a problem. You know, or jamming, constant jams, a spring follower gets jammed up. That's definitely a problem. You know, you put a mark on that or toss it right in the trash. You know, you want that to be the one you grab when you need one.
I bought a Springfield 1911 in 9mm. I don't know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, whatever it was. The factory magazines absolutely fucking suck. They do. They fucking suck. I had to go and buy Ed Brown magazines to get the gun to run right. The factory magazines, the bullets tip. They won't actually go in the gun. They tip. So I had to go buy different magazines. So I went to Ed Brown and bought Ed Brown magazines, and it runs like a fucking champ with Ed Brown magazines. So I literally had to go and spend over $100 to get the gun to run correctly because their fucking magazines are shit.
Did you contact what the heck you said, Springfield?
I have not yet. I'm gone. I just haven't got there.
I'm just curious if they'd offered to swap mags out or something.
I will. I will. I just haven't got there.
Well, give us an update when you do, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I will. I will. I have one company that I'm gonna tell you straight up, stay absolutely fucking clear from. And what I mean stay clear from, I mean I wouldn't take a fucking barge pole. I wouldn't take that 250-pound fucking catfishing bitch and stick it in front of me and touch this company. Stay the fuck away from it. Is G-Force Arms. There's a lot of videos from people right now on this company saying, you know, go buy this gun. This gun's great, blah, 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 blah. I've never had such customer service from a company in my entire life. G-Force Arms absolutely fucking has the worst service I've ever fucking had. And I'm not saying that lightly because I've had some really shitty service over the years, even from dealers, other dealers. I've had shitty service. This company is by far the fucking worst company as far as customer service goes.
Well, what you got, like a little snippet example? I mean, did they try to borrow money from you, or talk about your mom?
I'm gonna do a video on it, but I'll give you a little tidbit on it. So basically, I bought a mare's leg in 357. Sorry, not in 357.
Oh, you should have saved that for the video. Just
I bought a mare's leg.
What's the conflict?
I bought a mare's leg in 44 mag, and the conflict is it showed up missing the screw. And the screw that was missing is a pretty integral screw. I'm not going to tell you which one it is until the video. But
so they screwed you on a screw.
But it's a pretty integral screw to the entire function of the gun, right?
Good. Yeah, that's just a screw job all around.
So I go on the website and I'm looking to see if the gun's listed. The gun's not listed. I'm like, how the fuck is the gun not listed? I literally just fucking bought it. How's it not listed? So I call customer service and I'm talking to the lady on the phone. And I'm like, hey, I just went to my gunsmith and I picked up, XYZ, blah, 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 serial number. And it's missing a screw. And she's like, oh, you got to go on the website and do this and do that. And I'm like, I went on the website. Your information's not there for me to file a claim or whatever, it's not there. She's like, oh, I just put that in this morning. And as she says that to me, she's hammering the fucking keys. Like hammering the fucking keys.
She forgot
I can hear the bitch. So I get home after work and I go on and guess what? Oh, magically it's fucking there, right? So I filed the website. I don't hear shit for 2 weeks, man. 2 fucking weeks. So I sent an email. I'm like, hey, I filed my fucking claim 2 weeks ago. Here's my fucking file number, blah, 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 blah. I don't hear anything for another fucking week. And then they turn around and try and tell me that I didn't put my email in the fucking claim when it's a required fucking field to file the fucking claim. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, motherfuckers?
It's simple. Whoever created the form that you filled out didn't generate that to be stripped off and put into the database.
There's a lot more to it. I'm not going to tell it all here, but it goes on and on for a little bit longer.
Was she an ex of yours?
I'll get into it in the video, but basically, after I finally got the fucking screw, which took way fucking longer than it should have, I still had to modify the gun because they didn't actually make the gun properly to where the screw would fit.
Crap.
So that's why they didn't put it in. They could.
And I wasn't sending the fucking gun back after it took me almost. And I'll just give you a kind of a snippet. It took me almost 4 months just to get the fucking screw.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is that like the letter G, FORCE.com?
Yep.
You ought to go look at their website right now. I was just looking at it when you started talking about it. Hell, they got all these pictures of guns up there, and you click on one of them, it's like out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. They have got nothing.
So G-Force Arms is a company that is being pushed a lot, and that's why I brought it up. Being pushed a lot on YouTube by a lot of YouTubers who are being sent these guns. And Palmetto and Primary Arms and a few others are huge sellers. Palmetto, what's the other one with the G? Company that sells shit online. There's a bunch of companies that are selling them, and they're selling them at $200 off, $300 off, and shit like that. And
yeah, like everything on their website's like under $400.
Right, and well, that's the thing of it. So you think you're getting a good deal, right? When you see this thing that says, oh, hey, $200 off, go, and you're not getting a good deal if it's showing up missing fucking parts and the customer service sucks dick. And that's exactly what it does. It sucks dick.
I think I saw a video a while back from Boomstick. He had some problems with one of their shotguns.
Look, here's my thing with it. If I'm calling you, right, and I say, hey, I purchased this from you, it's missing this, what are you going to do? If it was me and I own the company, I'm going to say, hey, I'll get that right out to you, sir, and I'll send it in the mail. Boom, what's your address? No, this bitch just goes, hey, you have to go online. You have to do this. You have to do that. Blah, blah, blah. No, send me the fucking part. Why the fuck are you putting me through this?
Yeah, I'm the customer.
What fucking company does that? And then it stretches
none
off
will stay in
X,
business.
Y, fucking Z, X amount of fucking months. It's bullshit. That
Well,
should have been taken care of the second I fucking called. The second I fucking called and said, hey, I bought this. It's missing this. Boom. Okay, sir, what's your address? And that should have been in the fucking mail.
Yeah, screw should have definitely just been sent out. A screw? I mean, it's a screw.
Well, that's
Dude, a fucking 2-cent fucking part, if that.
that's the same reason I won't have anything Lee. I'll never buy anything from them again.
And I'll tell you though, I'll say this. The gun is fucking awesome. It shoots fucking phenomenal. I've got a nice fucking group out there. I'm probably about 30, 35 feet away, and I got a nice fucking group. It fucking shoots great. It's a fucking beast because it's only a 12-inch barrel and it's 44 Magnum, but it fucking shoots like a fucking champ. But I would never recommend it to anybody because the customer service is fucking bullshit. You got shit service. That's a major no for me, man.
Well, with me, with Lee, it wasn't that actually Lee gave me bad service. I called the lady and I told her, I said, hey, I've got this press and, you've got all these plastic parts on it. And this one was clearly not made right. I said, I've even tried to file it and adjust it, but it's jamming and sticking and it won't automatically progress. It's on that APP press. And it was the shuttle on it. It wouldn't move back and forth. It'd just stop in the middle. And I stretched the spring out. I did everything you could do to try to get it to work, and it wouldn't work. And the guy,
I know exactly what you're talking about because I called Lee and I argued with the fucking engineer that made the fucking press.
Well, the first thing he said to me was, I need you to go get a file. And I said, no. I said, if that's the way it is, I'm not doing it.
He didn't even tell me that. You know what he told me?
What?
He told me I didn't know what I was talking about. And I'm like, dude, I've been running your fucking press for the last 2 fucking years and it's ran fine until now.
And we're talking about a part that probably cost them 10 cents.
So mine, I believe mine was the spring because of the way it was acting. And when I called him, I told him that, and he's like, "Oh no, I think it's your slide. I'm going to send you a new slide." I'm like, "I don't want a new slide. I want a new spring. I'm pretty sure your spring is fucked up. Like I've literally had this for 2 years and it's ran fine. Like I clean it and I ran a buttload through it. It's I just need a new spring. No. I'm going to send you this part. You don't know what you're talking about."
That pisses me off. I'm sitting here with it and it's not working, and I'm telling you it's not working. But I will say this in their defense. I called back and talked to the lady on the phone. Nicest person in the world. She's just as sweet as she could be. I said, "Ma'am," I said, "I hate to tell you this, but when I call and talk to that guy, he's wanting me to file this and do this." And she goes, "Oh no." She said, "Look," she said, "I'm just going to claim it as a damaged press, as a press that was damaged when you bought it. I'm just sending you a whole new press." And she sent me the press. When I got the press, she also sent the parts for the other one. So now I've got 2 of them.
Yeah, I didn't even bother calling back. I just got rid of my press. I gave it to someone else. I said, "Here, it's your fucking problem."
I mean, it's a great thing for like processing brass, like for
Yeah, I just bought a separate turret for the Dillon, and I just do all my processing on the Dillon now.
I thought about that, but I just don't want to. I don't want to deprime on the Dillon.
That's just how I do it now. I got it set up. I have the brass up top, so it's just constantly pouring it in, automatic pour for the brass. So I just do it that way.
Yeah, I've got a guy that just giving right now. I've got a bullet feeder, and I've got a case feeder and a bullet feeder for the APP now, and I 3D printed them myself and wired them, put the motors on them, and programmed the stepper motors and all that. So it's works great. But the guy, it's aggravating when you call somebody to do that. It's the same thing. Everybody recommended Athlon scopes. I just tried to call them. You can't get anybody. I left voicemails. I sent emails. Nobody ever contacted me. So I sent them one more email. I said, "Well, you know what? You ain't going to be making a sale to me if you don't care about my business no more than that." And I was sitting there fixing to buy a scope. And I talked to Jack.
I'll say this. It's become a bigger problem in the last 4 years.
Well, I didn't know that they were going through a split.
Well, and just in general with companies in the last 4 years, with the whole bullshit with the whole C word, companies just stopped giving a shit, and customer service in general just went and fucking tanked everywhere.
Well, I'll tell you, I bought something from. I've never purchased from Natchez before. Have you?
Yeah, I bought from Natchez a couple times, mostly just parts for guns to fix stuff.
I was shocked.
I didn't have any problems.
I'll tell you one of the best ones that I've had to deal with was Dillon. When I first got my 650, and I went ahead and got the case feeder.
Yeah.
And this was like, I don't know how many years I've had that now. I've probably had it 7 years, maybe. When I first got that case feeder, I got it all set up. I turned it on. The case feeder died immediately. And I was like, "What the fuck?" 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 And I was like, "What the fu And I called Dylan, and the guy's like, "What do you mean it died?" I'm like, "Dude, I flipped the switch and fucking shit just died." And he's like, "Did you overload it?" I'm like, "I probably got 20 cases in there, man. I put a handful in." And he's like, "Well, we'll get you a prepaid slip in the mail for you to mail that back, and we'll get you a new one in the mail. And so long as you mail that one back, you won't be charged for it." And literally, it was there in 2 days.
Yeah,
I mean,
Dylan's always,
their service was fucking awesome.
I mean, they charge for their stuff, but you
No,
know,
and I've called them on a couple other things here and there, and boom, it literally is 2-3 days and it's there. They're super quick, super quick.
and usually they ship it out priority. They don't ship it out, you know, I don't give a damn when it gets there. They ship it priority and give you tracking numbers. You know where it's at.
They've been really good.
Which is the way Natchez was. That's the whole part. That's why I was bringing them up. I was really impressed with the way that my transaction went with them. And then they sent me their catalog. If you've never seen a Natchez catalog, you remember the old Bass Pro Shops master catalogs that were
Oh yeah,
It's like
no,
the Sears catalog. It's got every damn thing in there.
it's thick and extensive, man. It's got a lot of shit in there.
I was real. I'm like, dang, because I normally buy a lot of stuff from what is it, Mid South Shooter Supply.
It's Shooter Supply. Yep. No, Natchez is good, man. I bought a couple parts off of there, fixing guns for people and stuff, and they've been pretty quick as well, man. They're good to keep you updated.
I've been wanting the Lyman AccuPrime primer, bench primer, and nobody had it in stock for 8 months. I couldn't find one anywhere. So I just filled out the little thing on their website that said, "We'll notify you when it's in stock." And I got an email, it's 2 months later, I got an email and well, there she is. Ready
Nice.
to go. And
it's not a gun company, but I made a purchase a couple of days ago. So obviously I'm Scottish, folks. I play golf. I love golf. I haven't played in a long time because of my back, but my back's doing better, and I want to get back into playing golf, right? So I came across these golf grips that are much larger grips than your average standard grip. And I got big hands, so it made sense to me to go ahead and buy these grips, right? So I bought these grips, and I bought them Monday, and they showed up today, no issues. Literally. I mean, and the company, I bought them at midnight on Monday, and I had a shipping email, not even, I think it was 7 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. So, right, I mean, they were on their fucking shit. Boom. And it was on the road by noon Tuesday. So that's impressive, man. That's impressive. Yeah, and they showed up earlier today. So I was pretty impressed with that. They were on it.
Hey, Scotsman, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I got a early morning there in the morning, so I enjoyed being here with y'all.
Oh, that's fine. We'll go ahead and end this, guys. I hope everyone out there has a fantastic Christmas. And Garage Guy, what do you got for everybody, man?
Well, I got a video. It's going to be up in the morning about 10 o'clock. One of the gifts I got from my granddaughter. It's one of the Heritage Rough Riders with the pink lavender bird's head grip on it. She'll like that. And then here, I believe it's next Monday or Tuesday. I've already got it uploaded to YouTube, but they're not going to show it till then. just shooting segments I did this past year, and I kind of pieced them all together, you know.
All right, cool, man.
Well, I'll catch
Well,
you
I
guys.
hope you have a good Christmas, man, and spend some time with your family.
Well, you guys too. Merry Christmas. Enjoyed it. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, have a good one. Bama, what you got, brother?
Just casting and reloading, doing some shooting. That's about it. Nothing that will really make anybody get excited. But I got my rifle sighted in finally, so I'm going to take it to the 1 mile range and see if I can get one on target at a mile.
There you go. Nice.
It's always been a dream of mine to say, hey, I shot 1 mile. So
Right. No, I've shot 1,000 yards more than once. I would like to push it out there. You know, I think a mile is what, 17 and some change.
yeah,
So yeah, it'd be kind of cool to almost double it. You know, I'd be up for that. You know,
yeah, that's I asked the guy that he's taking me to the range that he's a member of, and they've got 1 mile. And he said Alabama Arsenal shoots his 1 mile shots there. And I asked him, I said, can I shoot on paper? He said, if you don't, you won't have a target. I said, oh, okay. I really didn't want to shoot in an electronic target. I wanted something on paper because I'm gonna bring it home.
right. No, it's when you're doing something like that, you want to have something to bring back with you. Like, hey, this is what I did, man. I mean that's a huge accomplishment. So
I'm gonna take 2 target stands and make sure that I'm dialed in good on one, and the other one, when I feel real comfortable, I'm gonna ease over on it and go for multiple shots.
Stuff. Awesome, man.
Try to put 3 to 5 on it, as close to the center as I can.
I hope you can do it, man. I don't have anywhere out here that I can shoot to a mile that I know of. But it's definitely on the list that I'd like to try and push that. I don't even know if I have a gun that's capable of that, to be honest with you.
You got a 6.5 Creedmoor, don't you?
Yeah, I got 2.65 Creedmoors. Yeah,
You can do it. I've seen it done with a 6.5. I mean,
yeah. Honestly, man, I wouldn't mind buying like a 338 or something along that lines.
Well, I'll tell you how the 300 PRC does.
I just haven't got there yet. I got a lot of shit I got to pay off, but
I know what you mean.
A 338 build is kind of on my radar. I've been eyeing that one for a while.
Yeah, damn, ammo's so expensive for that.
Everything's expensive, man. The thing of it is I kind of got to the point where if I'm going all in, I might as well go all in. And if I'm looking to do something crazy and shoot a mile or shoot past a mile, whatever it is, then yeah, I'm going to have some money invested in it. So I'm not too worried about it. I just want to get some other shit paid off before I get into that project, because it's not going to be a cheap project.
No, it's not. I mean, and I've gone I didn't go budget basement on what I did with this rifle. It's clearly not, because the stock was $600, almost $700. The scope was $600, almost $700, and the barreled action was $600. So, and then everything, then you got to go buy reloading dies and buy brass, buy bullets, buy powder, primers, and all was. I don't even want to know what it all adds up to.
No, I'm not going to say the number, but I'll say this. I reached out to my insurance company here about a month and a half ago to ask them about insuring all my firearms. And they asked me for a rough number. Well, I took a couple of days and I went ahead and calculated a rough number in my head. And the day that I did that, I went like, oh, damn. Holy fuck. And then when I called the lady back the next day, I was like, hey, this is my number. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, that shouldn't freak them out. I mean, that's the business.
No, she's not freaked out. She wasn't freaked out by it. If you knew the conversation we'd had prior, that's where you'd kind of get it. But it was just hilarious because the way it all kind of went down. But I'm just like, yeah, we're looking at XYZ. And she's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, a little more than I originally thought off the top of my head. She's like, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's I if you take a look all my reloading stuff and all of my weapons and all the tools and accoutrement that goes with it, it's probably $40,000.
I would say if you were to take all my reloading shit along with all the guns and everything that I have to work on firearms and all the rest of it, you calculate all of that in with everything. And I'm not trying to brag when I say this, people. I'm just throwing out a number, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably close to $100,000.
Oh, I don't doubt it at all.
And that's just because you got to remember, I've been collecting for the last almost 11 years. And I'm a collector, so I don't buy cheap shit. So you got to remember that too. It's not like the stuff I don't have.
So you're more attached to the stuff than I am.
Right. I don't have a huge numerical number of shit. I just have shit that's actually worth something.
Yeah, and see, with me, once I get to the point that I don't shoot it very much, I sell it.
Yeah, see, I have this past year, the last time I came out, when I was in Georgia, I had picked up six guns when I was out there. 3 of them are unfired, and to be honest with you, I don't know. And I've never honestly kind of said this, but I don't know if I'll ever shoot them because they're brand new.
You gotta ask yourself, why did I buy these?
I have the boxes, the fucking boxes. So I don't really know if I can fire them because I have the fucking boxes, dude.
I wouldn't fire them if I was thinking about selling them.
So here's the thing, and I've said this from day one. My very first video, I don't even know if my first video is even still up because YouTube keeps taking my videos down. But when I started collecting guns, I did it for 2 different reasons. The first reason was because I love them. I love the old school guns. I love the old school bluing. I love the wood grips. And I have an attachment with old school movies. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is the biggest reason where I really kind of got into collecting more is it's an investment. And it's an investment
it's
not
just
for me. It's an investment for my family if my family ever needs it. And that's why I'm looking more in the insurance route as well, is because if something ever happens, 90% they may never know something ever happened to me. So if I have the insurance, at least the insurance is going to say, hey, this happened, and pay out and give them money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I'm looking at that as well. But it's a way for them to have a little bit of benefit from something that their uncle loves and loves to do. That's why I do it, man. And I get the enjoyment of having the shit while I have it, and get to go out and play with it and have some fun, man.
Yeah, that's me. It's once I know once I shoot the mile with this 300 PRC, I'm probably going to want to make some changes. I might want to come down to like a 6.5 PRC or something like that. I don't know that. I've shot the 300 and it doesn't bother me. There's a lot of people that say, I think it just kicked the hell out of it. It's not that bad. It really is.
I mean, it's kind of like the 350 Legend. A lot of people say the 350 11 kicks hard. The thing of it is in an AR platform, yeah, it's got a little kick to it, depending on what kind of buttstock you got on there, depending on what kind of buffer you got in there. It's gonna kick, but you can mitigate that and figure it out, change stuff out, and all the rest of it. But yeah, it's a lot of that comes down to what you do with the firearm itself and make changes to, And if you got something that's a little bit older, wood stock or whatever, yeah, you're gonna feel more of it through the wood stock. But you can always change stuff out and figure stuff out, and
yeah.
You just got to make sure you're paying attention to what's going on. And if you don't know, again, like we mentioned earlier, if you don't know what you're doing, go find someone that does, or ask someone that has knowledge in the field.
Common sense, I would tell people, a gun's not something that you learn on without some form of knowledge or somebody looking over your shoulder.
Well, and I'll tell you straight up, look, I've worked on my own shit for years. Have I fucked shit up? Yes, I fucked shit up. And I've owned up to it. I've owned up to it on video. I had one of my best videos I ever had with me fucking telling people I broke my fucking gun. Why? Because I wanted to be one of the first people to be able to go in and work on it and show you how to do something. And I fucked it up when I did it. But I owned up to it. Don't fucking do shit you don't know. And understand when to step back and say, hey, I don't fucking know. I've learned a lot of stuff over the years. I've been in this industry a long time. I've worked on guns for a long time. And when I don't know something, I step back and say, I don't know, and I walk away. I'll go figure it out. I'll go find out, get some information from someone else and figure out how to do it. But I'm not going to attempt to do it unless it's my own gun.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it on. I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it on someone that's coming to me and saying, "Hey, can you work on my gun for me and do this?" Unless I know how to do it, I'm not going to do that. Now, if it's my own gun, yeah, I may attempt it. But the thing of that is it's mine, and if I fuck it up, it's on me.
Yeah, and I realize what I'm going to have to do to fix it.
But if it's someone else's gun, you got to realize if you fuck it up, guess what? You owe them a fucking new gun. So,
and I do know what not to do that would keep me from being able to undo what I did.
Right, exactly, and that's it. And
that's what I don't understand. People getting out files and going to work on stuff. I'm like, do you really know what you're filing on? Why are you doing that?
I'm a huge woodworker, right? And one of the big things when it comes to working with wood is, remember, you can always remove material. You can never put it back.
That's right.
If you take too much off, guess what? You're fucked. You got to actually really pay attention to the details of what you're doing. If you're trying to make XYZ joint, then you better make sure you know your measurements for XYZ joint to get that joint as tight as you can get it.
That's kind of like on the chassis that I've got for this rifle. It's got plastic foregrips on it and plastic stock and everything. Stock I'm probably not going to do anything with right now, but it's got just a typical, it uses a typical AR grip at the bottom. And I looked at those plastic panels on the forend, and I'm like, damn, why couldn't they just made those? Why don't they make some of those out of wood? People would buy them like crazy. So the other day I found a guy that's got a mill, a CNC mill for wood here in town. I asked him, I said, hey, could you, if I gave you just took the ones off the gun, and if you need me to do the measuring or whatever, he said, I don't need nothing. He said, I've got a laser scanner. He said, I can scan that thing right into it. And he said, it'll give me dimensions, everything, and I'll turn out whatever you want. So I said, cool. So I'll be the first person with an MTD Oryx stock with wood foregrips on it.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
And
we're getting almost to 1 o'clock. I think we're gonna go ahead and call it.
oh yeah, there's nobody but you and me here.
No, we got a few people out there watching. But I think we'll go ahead and call it. I hope everyone out there has a good Christmas. Y'all make sure you stay safe, stay vigilant. And you guys got any questions or whatever or comments, let me know. Shoot me an email, whatever it may be. And we'll talk at you soon. Again, stay safe, stay vigilant. Have a good Christmas. Peace out.
Good night, everybody. All right, man.